Hello and welcome to the Collegiate Sports Network for tonight's game between the Wichita Collegiate Spartans and the Augusta Orioles. We'll pause real quick for the national anthem as we get ready to get going.
Singing tonight's national anthem is WCS senior Aaron Rolfe.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you so much, Aaron. And now it's time for your
As we get ready to get going here from Collegiate, the Spartans barely lost the last game to the Rose Hill Rockets. We know we were unable to cover that game, but the Spartans lost by just 3 points, 22-19, the final score of that game. Certainly the Spartans hoping to take a little bit of momentum away from that game and get going.
Absolutely. You know, we've had a lot of close calls this season, a lot of great showings, especially offensive-wise from this collegiate girls team, mostly centered around current junior, I believe, Julia Herman. Absolutely a monster on both offense and defensive rebounds. Just a team that every single opponent is making sure to watch out for. But I think one of the biggest things that just we have to mention basically every game that could really turn it around for this collegiate team is turnovers. That's the biggest thing holding this collegiate team back from utilizing that strong offense to get a victory is just letting too many points getting through. And that's just because every single team knows that when they incorporate that full court defense, that it's really easy to catch this kind of younger, less coordinated collegiate offense off guard, especially in the backcourt, and really turn it on its head. So yeah, when you're talking about collegiate ways to win, how they're going to take away a victory from this game, you're definitely going to have to look at how they're going to be handling that full court defense, how they've kind of been working on their ability to control the ball, their ability to pass the ball, especially under contested areas, and their ability to just kind of force it into the paint where they're strongest.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I think it's important to say the turnover is going to be a key for the Spartans all night long. Seems like that they're able to stick around in these games for the early parts, even the full first half, and even times into the second half. Problem it seems like for the Spartans at times, though, just is the legs go out from under them. A little bit of fatigue sets in. Certainly not a very deep Spartan bench, but they've been able to work through it for the season. Seems like the progress is being made there. Conditioning is getting in better shape. Just seems like a matter of time before the Spartans are finally able to get themselves one of these.
Absolutely. That's a great point, Connor. Especially harder when you have a kind of a shallower bench like this collegiate team does.
Herman jumping center for the Spartans. Tip is away and controlled by Augusta. It's Woodsmall with the ball. Taking up point, passes it around the perimeter. Ball now out to Emma Bourne. 2 Bourne sisters on the court. Ball tipped, but ball back out to Woodsmall, top of the key. Back to Bourne. Shoots the 3 contested. Can't get it to go. Short off the rim, and rebound secured by Downing. Push in the back, no foul called. Spartans now moving the other way. Good early stop for the Spartans, able to force a contested 3. Conrad in the right corner pulls the 3, misses everything. Villagoma is able to chase down the rebound, pulls the ball back out, gets it back out to Downing at the top of the key. Downing trying to settle down the offense and control the Spartans. Pass out to Monahan, getting the start for the Spartans tonight. in the right wing, passes back to Downing. Downing passes up the open three, gives it off to Monahan. Thought about the three, swings it instead around to Conrad on the right corner. Back to Herman, swung back to Conrad. Conrad looking for options, finds Monahan, top of the key, gives it back to Downing. Downing in pass to Conrad. Conrad against three defenders, tried to go up with it, couldn't find it. Ball around on the floor and off of Kaylee Villagomez. Spartans turn it over, and Augusta now with the ball.
Great job by Coach Dylan Heath here, preparing the collegiate team for this Augusta offense. They seemed to know where that ball was going and really collect around the offensive players.
Borm controls the ball, in pass this time, kicked back out. Other Borm sister now back out to the top of the key at Woodsmall. Swung back around. Top of the key, ball gets back to Emma Borm. Top of the corner, Woodsmall from the left wing, can't get it to go. Rebound secured though, that time by Ella Borm. Augusta trying to swing the ball around, can't get it to go, as ball's tipped out of bounds by Kaylee Villagomez.
You know, typically in high school basketball, we're used to seeing really high-paced teams trying to get that ball into the paint as quick as possible. But from this Augusta team, it seems like they're very content to move slowly and swing it around the outside.
In pass is deflected away, and Tatum Downing comes away with it, so the Spartans going to have a chance to get the first points of this game going back down the other side of the court. Downing slowly controlling the ball up for the Spartans, picks up her dribble, gets it off to Monahan in the right corner. Villagomez pass nearly taken away, but able to keep on to the ball. Monahan tries to dribble the baseline, picks it up, tries to get into Herman, pass deflected out of bounds. Spartans will keep it under the basket.
Collegiate really struggling to control the ball in the paint this game as the Augusta defense knows where to collect.
Downing puts up the shot mid-range, can't get it to go, short off the rim. Rebound controlled by Ratcliffe. Woodsmall moving back down the other side of the court, passes it off to Bundridge. Open three taken, that time by Borm, gets it to go. Ella Borm for three.
Man, it's really hard to stop those threes if you keep letting them get through. Even with inconsistent shooters, they're bound to make it through every once in a while.
Augusta after the make, trying to get some full court press. Ball tipped away as the Spartans tried to get it up court, out of bounds. Spartans will have it right at about three-quarter court.
We didn't see it this first couple of drives, but now we're seeing Augusta incorporate that full court defense as we get into this next part of the game.
Downing catches it behind the timeline and dribbles it up. Contested at midcourt by Emma Bourne. Ball swung around the perimeter, trying to get it in, and the Spartans unable to do so. Ball turned over, back down the other court quickly. Woodsmall takes the ball, passes it around the perimeter, gets it off to Borm, now back out to Ratcliffe, back into Borm, up no good. Rebound secured by Conrad, nearly lost out of bounds. Spartans able to retain it though. Monahan kicks it back to Downing, and the Spartans will take up the ball once again, down 3-0, just 3 minutes into this game.
Collegiate really has to make something happen on this offensive drive. Try and build some momentum for any kind of offensive luck this game.
Ball into Herman, hounded by two defenders, and a push is going to be called that time. Looks like it was called on Brundage.
Augusta fouls on number 5, Emily Brundage, her first.
Yeah, this is something we really don't see a lot by a high school team, but Augusta's really seeming content to just push around the outside and shoot for those threes, which has been kind of unsuccessful so far, but whenever you get those opportunities, you can make it work.
Mid-range shot is good by Herman. The Spartans scored their first two, finally able to find Herman open for a field goal. Spartans now trail 3-2. Augusta back down the other side of the court quickly, in pass this time to Brundage, and pass out of bounds, and no Spartan touched it, so it'll be a turnover going the other way.
Fleming, number 2, Grace Belknap into the game for Augusta.
Two new Orioles check into the game.
Collegiate definitely looking solid going into this first quarter, excuse me.
More full court press this time. Ball gotten up to Herman, tipped away out of bounds, so the Spartans will keep it. Certainly a lot of pressure being applied early in this game in the full court. Downing takes up the ball, the bench trying to call out a play for the Spartans. Conrad fakes out defender, thought about the three, decided not to go for it. Herman on the right wing, passes back to Downing. Downing, top of the key, gives it off to Conrad. Conrad thought about the three once again, decides to give it off to Monahan, top of the key. Swung out to Turnez. Turnez dribbles in, tries to get it over the head, is able to, shot off the glass. No. Test, test. Test, test. I'll try that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's bouncing a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, back to action. Sorry. Audio issues here. Score now 8-6. Spartans starting to get back into this game as Bourne puts up the three in and out. Rebound fought for and controlled. Turnez comes down with it for the Spartans.
Yeah, Julia Herman dominating in the inside with some 2-pointers to pull Collegiate a little bit out of that offensive slump.
Herman kicks it out to Downing, decides not to take the three. Downing back to the top of the key. Villagomez tried to get it in to Herman, couldn't get it to go. Spartans able to recollect it, though. Ball back out to Downing. Downing near the timeline. Gets it off to Turnez. Turnez dribbles to the left. Tries to get it inside and just passes it right to Borm. Going back the other way, picks up her dribble. Passes back out to the corner. Woodsmall for three. Rims just barely out. Herman secures the rebound for the Spartans. Monahan trapped in the backcourt and controlled back by the Spartans.
Collegiate defense did a really good job of forcing the ball once again outside, but again resulting in a bit of an open three opportunity for the Augusta Orioles.
Timeout called as it seems like Spartans playing with a little bit of fire early on. A couple of threes easily could have gone in for Augusta. Spartans lucky that those shots haven't fallen. Score now 8-6.
Yeah, but Collegiate conversely also getting kind of a bit of three opportunities for themselves, different opportunities on offense, but as we can see how reliable this Collegiate team is on a few key players to score points for them, that they just weren't willing to take those three opportunities whatsoever.
Yeah, and it certainly seems like Augusta's going to be content to let the Spartans shoot as many threes as they want in this game. Not a whole lot of consistent makers as far as the Spartans are concerned. Like we said, their main offense is predicated through Julia Herman, and if they can't get the ball down to her, they're going to have to start looking for other options.
Yeah, pretty much. It could be basically 5-on-1 for this Augusta team, and that's exactly what this defensive team wants to have.
Augusta trying to get the full court press on, nearly stolen away from Herman, able to secure it though. Pass back to Conrad as the Spartans are able to get it across half court. Conrad picks up her dribble, gives it off to Downing, and the Spartan offense will try to get set up here. Downing dribbles off to the right, gives it off to Monahan. Monahan hit hard, and a foul is going to be called that time on Ratcliffe.
Collegiate clearly trying to speed up and fire up their offense here, trying to force Augusta to make a mistake, trying to get into the inside. But Augusta just seems to know exactly what Collegiate's movements are going to be.
Villagomez gives it off to Monahan in the left wing, kicked back out to Downing. Downing dribbles right, heavily contested by Borm. Tries to get away, and Borm's going to reach in that time as Downing tried to get away a pass.
Man, it seems Collegiate's really just been stopped by a brick wall here as those on the outside don't know how to get it on the inside, and those on the inside don't know how to break this wall down to be able to reach the guys on the outside.
Yeah, Collegiate's been able to draw a couple of fouls this possession, though. Ball into Herman on the low block, gives it off to Villagomez, met by three defenders, kicks it back out to Downing. Downing dribbles right to the top of the key. Trying to look at her options, keeps dribbling the ball top of the key, dribbles to her right, gives it off to Conrad, decides to pull the three, no good. Kaylee Villagomez comes down with the rebound, though. The ball missed everything that time on the shot from Conrad. Monahan kicks it back out to Downing, and the Spartans will reset. Chance to tie or take the lead on this possession.
Once again, kind of proves how Augusta is fully content to let
Downing gets it off to Herman in the low block and scores. Spartans tie this game up on a 6-0 run to start off the second quarter. Score now 8-8 with 4 minutes left in the half.
Great job by Collegiate breaking that defense there.
Villagomez on the defender. Ball tipped out of bounds off Augusta. And the Spartans will get the ball back. Chance to take the lead now.
May Fleming into the game for the Orioles.
I think this is the first time I've said this all season, but Augusta outweighing the Collegiate turnovers by almost double here going into this part of the quarter. They have absolutely been just getting destroyed by this Collegiate defense, as Collegiate really seems to kind of awoken and just trying to slow down the pace of this Augusta defense or offense as well.
Downing passes off to the right, gets back to Herman. Monahan now top of the key. Monahan picks it up, gives it off to Conrad. Wide open three, decided not to take it. Monahan will at the top of the key. In and out. Herman comes down with the rebound, puts it back up and good.
Basket by Julia Herman.
Spartans take the lead 10-8. Back down the court, Woodsmall right corner, didn't take the three. Borum will, top of the key. Can't get it to go, off the front of the rim. Downing comes down with the rebound. Spartans had a chance to turn it up in possession. Downing couldn't find Herman down the court, though. Another three taken. Conrad off the glass, no good. Back out to Villagomez. Spartans with a second chance. Monahan three, no good. Ball tipped out of bounds off an Oriole, though. Borum tipped it out of bounds, and the Spartans will keep it under the basket. Julia Herman. Spartans have been able to find her the last couple of possessions to great effect to now lead 10-8.
You know what? I like this new strategy here. They're utilizing those three opportunities to get it in the inside. As Julia Herman is using her height to pick up those rebounds, it proves to be a reliable way to get it into Herman.
Hey, sometimes the best idea is just to get the shot up and try to get a rebound, you know?
Yes.
That's working for the Spartans so far. Conrad picks up her dribble, gives it off to Downing. Downing top of the key, looking at options. Gives it off to Conrad. Conrad swinging the ball. Gets it out to Monahan at the top of the key. Back to Downing. Spartans will try to set up a little bit more offense. High pass into... Finds her, gets it off to Villagomez. Villagomez put out the shot, was blocked. Ball back into Herman in the paint, gets it to go. And a bit of a helter-skelter possession for the Spartans, but Herman was able to get it. And a timeout by Augusta as the Spartans lead 12-8 on a big 10-0 run.
Great job by Collegiate right there. Kind of goes to prove that if you cannot get through that brick wall, you can definitely go over it. High passes and utilizing all those three opportunities, although they might not have as reliable of three shooting as Augusta does. I think I saw 4 shots there, none of them able to pull through. Pretty much all of them were, however, be able to be rebounded by Collegiate players and put up for 2-pointers, which is exactly what Collegiate is looking for.
Yeah, Aiden, it's been a couple of disjointed possessions, really, for the Spartans, but it's been high-motor possessions. They've done a really good job of just chasing the ball wherever it might have been, and it's allowed them to get a big run in this game, a 10-0 run for the Spartans. First time we've seen something like that all year. It's been a really good effort on offense and defense. Spartans have turned up the pressure, and they find themselves in front.
Yeah, but that's something that we got to watch out for the rest of this game is these collegiate girls have been able to turn up that pressure, turn up that power in the first half, but sometimes in the second half, we've seen them kind of run out of steam, run out of power. And as Augusta does have quite a bit of a deeper bench than Collegiate does, we're going to be looking for Collegiate to kind of utilize this strategy as much as they can right here to try and get as much of a lead as humanly possible.
Augusta basketball underneath their own basket. Spartans trying to employ a full court press, and pretty easily broken that time. Borum gets it up across half court, tries to dribble in, pass deflected and turned over. Spartans with the ball once again. Chloe Villagomez that time able to come away with it, gets it out to Downing.
Great job by Collegiate defense.
2 minutes left in the half, and the Spartans are going to have a chance to go into the locker room ahead if they can maintain this lead. Monahan kicks it back in the corner, gets it into Conrad on the low block, tries to dribble in, met by 4 defenders. Monahan puts up the shot, blocked. Back out to Borum. 3-on-3 opportunity for Augusta. Pass deflected away, but stolen back. Borum puts up the layup and good, so the Spartans couldn't quite get the ball down the other side of the court. And Augusta's finally able to break the 10-0 Spartan run. Score now 12-10 in favor of Collegiate. Pass all the way down court and thrown away by Downing. Tried to get the ball to Herman, to no avail.
Man, it seems like one little change in strategy from the Augusta Orioles kind of tore up all this momentum from Collegiate.
Presley Woodsmall back into the game for Augusta.
Yeah, it seems like a situation where Collegiate just needs to settle down in this game again. Had built up a good lead, timeout, just came out a little bit cold. Need to settle themselves down and get back to playing the way they were. Woodsmall at the top of the key, kicks it out to Borum. Borum takes the three, no good. Rebound secured, though, by Augusta. Woodsmall that time came down with it. Ball out to Pfeiffer at the top of the key, gives it back off to Woodsmall. Woodsmall kicks around the perimeter to Borum. Ball in that time. Kick to Woodsmall. Right elbow, no good. Monahan tries to come down with the rebound, and jump ball is called. Correction, that was Chloe Villagomez coming down with the rebound that time. Aiden, seems like the Villagomez sisters might be the shortest players on the court, but they come away with the most rebounds.
Absolutely. We've seen all kinds of rebounds from both of these players. Kaylee Villagomez picking up 3 of her own, more than Julia Herman.
Ball swung around the perimeter. Woodsmall at the top of the key. Kicks it out to Borum. Borum takes the 3, and good from the right corner.
Three-pointer by Emma Bourne.
Borum out of nowhere picks up 5 of her own points for the first time in this game.
Big 3 from Borum. And a quick timeout called by Dylan Heath. The Spartans were struggling to get the ball up court, nearly turned it over. Fortunate not to. Augusta now leads 13-12, 49.4 seconds left in the half.
I don't know what happened in that timeout right there, but Augusta seemed to have come out of it with all the answers there. Collegiate just seemed to have finally adapted to this game, finally found a strategy that would have allowed them to pull ahead, and Augusta just tore it to pieces in seconds. Perfect time for a timeout, and I don't know what happened in that timeout, but they really just found the momentum, found the strategy to kind of counter this Collegiate offense. As before, they kind of expected them not to be able to take any of those 3 opportunities, but now they know what to expect and know how to answer it. Conversely, Augusta offense seems to still be working full power, completely unfazed by Collegiate's powerful point scoring run, as both sides of Augusta's team have just completely come out of that last timeout swinging.
Yeah, it seemed like a complete momentum shift there out of the timeout. Spartans have been unable to respond so far after a 5-0 run from the Orioles, now trailing 13-12. Looked like the Spartans were going to be able to get their first lead going into the locker room all season. Unable to do so right now, though. Certainly still a chance, just under a minute left in the half. Downing takes up the ball, quick pressure, and turned over that time. Ratcliffe down the other side of the court, puts it off the glass. No good. Ratcliffe tries to come down with their own rebound, but caught the ball out of bounds. And the Spartans will get it back going the other way.
Collegiate really great at controlling their turnovers in the first quarter of this game. Now, just
another
absolutely
turnover.
Destroyed. Another turnover
Back
by
down
Conrad.
the other side of the court. Thankfully for Collegiate, the ball thrown away and over the head of Woodsmall out of bounds. So Collegiate back down the other side of the court. Going to be heavy pressure to face, though, as Augusta's capitalized on a couple of chances here to get the full court press and play again. Conrad gets it back out to Downing, able to break the timeline. Ball into Herman in transition. A lot of contact, no foul. Heath not entirely happy about that as Downing pulls the ball back out. Just under 20 seconds left. Back out to Downing. Spartans have to get something going. Conrad decides to take the 3. No good off the rim. Ball fought for 2 Spartans underneath. And Turnez touched the ball out of bounds. And Augusta's going to have it with 8.7 seconds left in the half. Chance to go back down the other side of the court and score. And a timeout's going to be taken before that
Augusta.
by Rainey Malloy.
Collegiate there looking at once again to try and employ that going over the wall offensive strategy, but to no avail, as Augusta knew how to center around Conrad and Herman there, stopping the initial shot from going in and giving really no chance for Collegiate to catch up on the rebound.
As we said, the Spartans trail at 13-12. It's been a good effort so far by the Spartans. Been a game of runs, though, certainly so far, and the Spartans on the wrong end of a 5-0 run from Augusta right now. Trying to go into the locker room with a little bit of momentum. They're going to need to stop before the end of the half.
Absolutely. Additionally, Collegiate, in only a matter of a couple of plays, has completely doubled their turnover count. As the momentum of the game kind of increases, we also see a definite increase and correlation in the amount of turnovers that Collegiate has. Whereas the high pressure, high momentum type of gameplay works in Collegiate's favor, it also conversely has resulted in all kinds of turnovers against Collegiate.
Yeah, I will say, though, Aiden, it seems like the Spartans haven't necessarily gotten burned at all times by their turnovers. They've gotten a couple of turnovers right off those turnovers and have also been able to limit Augusta's scoring. Either way, though, they do find themselves down, and they're going to need a stop to prevent this from becoming a 2-possession game going into the locker room. Ball back down the court, tipped and stolen away by Downing, so the Spartans will get their stop. 1 second left. Tried to put the shot up, couldn't get it to go, so we'll go to halftime Spartans trail just by 1, 13-12. The Spartans certainly could have found themselves up going into the locker room. Not to be, though. Certainly still in the game, though. Going to need a couple of things to go their way as they trail 13-12. We do apologize for the technical difficulties we had starting this game off. Not entirely sure what caused that, but hopefully we do have the problem fixed now, and we'll be back to start the second half as the Spartans trail this one 13-12. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Hello and welcome back to the Collegiate Sports Network as we get ready to start the second half of this girls basketball game against the Augusta Orioles. The Spartans trail 13-12, although by many means it seems like maybe they shouldn't be. A couple of turnovers to end the second half doomed the Spartans. Gave up a 5-0 run to end it. They found themselves leading at one point, 12-8, but gave up that big 5-0 run and now find themselves down by just 1 point. Certainly still in this game, certainly have a good chance at this one, but going to have to be a little bit more consistent with the ball handling.
Absolutely. You know, Connor, we were talking about this board a little bit in the half, just talking about how consistently better Collegiate has been at not only rebounds, but controlling the turnovers, as the Augusta Orioles have had some key players just consistently getting high turnovers when they're controlling the ball, whereas Collegiate is kind of in huge contrast to the rest of their season, has been able to diversify the turnovers from stopping it from being concentrated around one player, and additionally just keeping that number relatively low. And when they do get the turnovers, they've also consistently been able to pull it back in their favor. Two things that Collegiate has just been doing really, really well so far today. But that's not to it doesn't really matter how many times you can control the ball if you cannot consistently capitalize on it. And I think that's kind of been the main story of today, is just trying to capitalize on offense.
Yeah, it certainly seems like the Spartans are going to have to focus a little bit more on what they're doing well and try to take away those mistakes that they haven't been doing as well. Like you said, though, they've been dominating the glass so far pretty impressively. Going to have to capitalize on that, though, and get the ball in a good position on those rebounds to try to score on those second chances. The second chance points aren't all that many for the Spartans, even though they're dominating the glass. Ball back in. Spartans have it to start the second half. Conrad on the right side tries to just tip it up. Bit of a volleyball play, and tipped out to Augusta. Quick turnover for the Spartans as Woodsmall takes it up, gives it back off to Ratcliffe. Back to Woodsmall on the right side. Swung around that time, right perimeter, given back to Woodsmall. The right key. Kick back underneath. Layup scorched, no good. That time by Borum, tried to put it up, no good. And the Spartans will come down with the ball, chance to take the lead early in the second half.
Both teams kind of off to a slow start. Collegiate looking to build their own momentum.
Downing gives the ball off to Herman. Herman puts up the shot, contact on it, no good. Villagomez tries to come down with the ball. And the rebound was deflected off the foot of an Augusta defender, so it maybe seems the officials are going to talk about this one, though. Might be going back to Augusta. Let's see what the call is.
Looks like it's going to remain Collegiate's ball.
And it will remain Collegiate ball, so thankfully for the Spartans, they'll keep on to the ball. Herman tries to put up the shot, is blocked. Going back down the other way, now it's Borum. Going against three Spartan defenders, decides to pull it back out, passes to her sister. Now out to Woodsmall, top of the key. Woodsmall gets it off to Bunridge. Cross-court pass to Woodsmall, nearly out of bounds, not quite. Woodsmall kicks it out to Bunridge. Right side, given off on the low block, no good, and rebound secured by Herman. Ratcliffe put up the shot, no good. 6.5 minutes left in the quarter. Downing controlling point for the Spartans. Once again, a chance to get something going here on offense, just unable to get back into the lead of this one. Downing swings it around the perimeter. Monahan dribbles the sideline, and ball deflected out of bounds off an Oriole.
Collegiate seems to be once again returning to their original offensive strategy, trying to force their way inside the paint early on into the second half.
Herman catches the ball at the right elbow, passes it back out to Downing, who will control the point, trying to set up the offense for the Spartans, pulls the ball back out to near half court. Herman sets a screen. Ball out to Conrad in the corner, no good. Villagomez tries to come down with the rebound, unable to, and Augusta comes back down the other way.
As you said, Connor, both the Villagomezes just absolutely going crazy with these rebounds.
Ball back the other way to Augusta, into Bourne on the low block. Back out, and good on the elbow. That time it was Ella Bourne. Augusta extends the lead to 3, 15-12. And pass just thrown away to Bourne. Woodsmall controls it down the other side of the court. On the left side, kicked back out this time to Bunridge. And Woodsmall now controls point for the Orioles.
Collegiate seems to have lost any and all momentum going in their favor.
Swung around the perimeter. Bunridge doesn't take the three. Pass deflected from Borm and stolen away by the Spartans. Downing controls point back down the other side. Spartans trying to get something going here on offense. Looking a little bit flat coming out of the locker room, however, on this side of the court. Downing goes in amongst three defenders. Gets it back out to Herman. Conrad give and go to Herman. Herman dribbles the baseline. Gets it back off to Monahan. Takes the field goal short off the rim. Herman tried to tip it out. Couldn't get it to go, though. And Augusta back down the other side of the court. Woodsmall back out to Ratcliffe. Swung back around to Woodsmall. Left elbow. Bunridge did not take the three. Had a look at it. Ratcliffe swings it back down to Borm. Borm out to Woodsmall. Mid-range shot, no good. And rebounded by Downing. So the Spartans able to come away with another stop, starting to string together a couple of defensive stands. Question is, can they get something going on offense halfway through the third quarter? Downing looking for someone, just miscommunication. And the ball thrown over Herman's head.
Yeah, that ball was going nowhere. Definitely not into the hands of a collegiate player. But collegiate, both teams, in fact, looking, as you said, Connor, a little bit flat going into this second quarter. Both teams moving really sluggishly.
Borm takes the three, no good off the back iron. Fought for underneath, controlled on the rebound, no good. The putback, and Herman finally comes down with the rebound. Fleming couldn't come down that time with the shot. And Downing takes it the other way. Yeah, looking down on the sideline, seems like Coach Heath a little bit frustrated for the Spartans, just hoping they can get something going. Turnovers, though, prevalent for the Spartans, and a foul is going to be called on Julia Herman trying to take the ball away.
Man, that didn't really even look like the collegiate team was trying to control that ball there. I kind of just let it fall out of their hands, as I think a little bit of fatigue is starting to set into this team.
Yeah, and it looks like the passes are just starting to get a little bit almost lazy, kind of just shorter passes with not a lot of emphasis on them, and it's leading to a lot of turnovers for the Spartans. Fleming gets it underneath, rejected, though, by Julia Herman. So the Spartans picking up the end on defense, doing a good job of that, just unable so far to get anything going on offense. Downing down the right side. Pass to Villagomez in the paint, no good. Contact as she went up, no foul called. Back down the other way, Fleming takes it. Back off to Borm, kicks it in the corner to her sister. Three, got it to go.
Three-pointer by Ella Borm.
Ella Borm gets the three-pointer to go. And Augusta now leads 18-12, 2 minutes 50 left in the third quarter. Pass nearly stolen away by Borm and deflected out of bounds.
You know, if I'm being completely honest with you, Connor, I don't quite know why Collegiate's return to this offensive strategy is. It has kind of proven just not to be effective whatsoever. Collegiate trying to fight their way into the paint, passing it around, as we saw, I believe, even one of the Villagomez's going up for a layup there, but none of them quite able to make it away through the defenders.
Collegiate nearly turns it over in the full court. Not quite. Ball on the floor, and a loose foul is going to be called that time on number 5, Bunridge, for Augusta, as she tried to go after the ball that Herman had on the floor.
Augusta foul is on Emily Brundage. Her second, team's first of the quarter.
Monahan, long two, missed everything that time, rebounded by Borm. Spartans still struggling to get any kind of good looks this time on offense. Woodsmall takes it down. Borm calling for it frantically in the corner. Passes it back down on the low block. Back out to Borm for three, no good, and missed everything out of bounds. Borm frustrated with herself on that one.
Good look there. Tried to make the opportunity on the three, but just could not quite make it happen.
Monahan gets the ball into Herman just barely as Spartans almost turn it over. Pass down to Downing. Gets it off to Villagomez. Villagomez dribbles into the paint and just rejected. Just a size issue that time for the Spartans. Villagomez went up against the much taller Bunridge and was rejected. Woodsmall down the other side of the court. Tries to get it off to Fleming. Stolen away, though, by Herman. Downing dribbling against 4 defenders. Picks it up. Tried to do a jump stop. Couldn't quite get any kind of an open look, and the ball's back out to Downing now at the top of the key as the Spartans will slow down, try to set up some offense. Ball into Downing at the free throw line, swung around to Monahan. Monahan into Downing, open shot from the field, no good. Just inside the free throw line, Downing couldn't get it to go.
Once again, seeing all kinds of opportunities for these collegiate players to score, but whether or not it's size or just capability, just unable to capitalize.
Ball swung out to Borm, thought about the three. Pass it back out. Top of the key now, Woodsmall. Pass back to Borm, swung around back to Woodsmall. Borm. Can't get the three to go. Fought for underneath. Villagomez fighting for it, and a jump ball is going to be called. As a good effort play that time by Chloe Villagomez. Ball's going to stay on this end, however. Possession arrow favoring the Orioles.
I mean, call me mistaken if I'm wrong, but I believe that these Villagomez sisters are both putting in more effort than the rest of the collegiate team combined to get these rebounds here, as they've just shown all kinds of tact when going for these loose balls.
Ball deflected and just trickles out of bounds as it's off of Conrad. Borm gets it off to Woodsmall. Woodsmall swung around at the perimeter. Right corner, double team in the coffin corner for the Spartans. And Monahan comes away with the steal. Good defensive effort that time for the Spartans. Ball fought for now in the half court. And another jump ball is going to be called as Chloe Villagomez tried to come down with it. This time, though, the possession arrow favors the Spartans.
That ball, once again, just locked up on the outside, making it just collegiate, just incapable of kind of breaking through that Augusta defense.
So just under a minute left in the quarter. Spartans still have yet to get anything going as far as the offense goes this half. Find themselves trailing 18-12. Not a lot of motion right now on the Spartan offense, trying to get something set up. Conrad now gets the ball. Right wing. And just tied up once again. And possession arrow favors the Orioles going the other way. Spartans just putting the ball on the floor maybe a little too much right now. And resulting in plenty of turnovers so far.
Yeah, absolutely. As we kind of saw them able to control that going into the first half, this second half tells a completely different tale.
Swung around the perimeter, Borm for three, no good, missed everything that time. Ball tipped, and Conrad secures the rebound. Has to get it to somebody, though. Barely finds Herman. Spartans have a 2-on-1 opportunity down the other side of the court. Downing puts up the shot off the glass too hard. And that's the end of the quarter. Spartans tried to get a quick hitter there by Downing, had an open layup and just missed it. Downing frustrated with herself after that one as the Spartans find themselves trailing by 6, 18-12, going into the final period of the game.
Man, that's absolutely too bad, as we kind of saw just a great little fake there by Tatum Downing, able to get that free layup as it was just a little too hard. But kind of as I was saying, when it's not Herman going up into that offensive paint, there's really almost, it seems like, nothing Collegiate can do, as she still holds down the only points for Collegiate, whereas Augusta, conversely, has been able to diversify their points so far, with number 3 absolutely dominating with those threes, if not just for the amount of opportunities that Collegiate is giving them.
Yeah, that's Ella Borum, Aiden. Certainly has been the main offensive production so far for the Orioles. I think once again, though, the story for the Spartans has got to be the 11 turnovers that they've accumulated in this one. Certainly not as bad as it's been in the past at times, but when you're in one of these games and you've got a chance to win it, the turnovers are just killers, and it's been that way for the Spartans all night. And it really seems like at times it's been more than 11 turnovers. I mean, it's just been tough sledding this half.
It's just been absolutely turnover over turnover over turnover. It really just, I think it can be accounted a little bit to just, it's seemingly like mental errors as fatigue starts to set in. You know, we've kind of been saying this all season, but Collegiate really has not been a second half kind of a team. Just really struggling to maintain control over the ball so far.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of momentum with the Spartans, at least going into the locker room a little bit, maybe a little bit before that, before Augusta had gone on their run. Seems like all the air just been taken out of the building for the Spartans so far. Herman on the low block gets out to Conrad. 3, no good, missed everything. And Borm comes down with the rebound. Struggles continue for the Spartan offense as Borm takes it back down the other side of the court. Just under 8 minutes left in the game now. Borm at the top of the key, swings it around this time. Back out to Borm. Gets the pass inside, free throw line. Borm in the corner, 3, gets it to go. That time it's Emma Born.
Winner by Emma Born.
Man, it almost seems like they're competing to pull together those 3 points.
Yeah, Ella and Emma Born, certainly the main production so far for the Augusta Orioles. Downing takes the ball up the other side of the court for the Spartans as this one's starting to slip away. Monahan takes the field goal, no good. Spartans starting to get a little bit desperate as jump ball is called and possession arrow favors the Orioles.
Yeah, Collegiate definitely looking a little bit just frustrated down there as they're trying to make anything work on offense, but unable to do so.
Full court press, and they'll say that she dribbled the sideline, so Collegiate will get the ball back on a turnover.
Collegiate defense not looking half bad, but it doesn't really matter if you can't get anything going on offense.
Villagomez gets the ball into Downing. Downing passes off to Conrad for 3, no good. Off the back iron, rebound fought for. Monahan controls it. Back out to Downing. Downing gets it into Herman. Herman had to pull the ball back out. Bit of an awkward pass. Downing now back at the top of the key, dribbles in, and just dribbled it off her foot, out of bounds off the Spartans.
Yeah, once again, I believe that is
Grizzly
Conrad's
Woodsmall back into the game for Augusta.
fifth 3 opportunity, still unable to capitalize. Just kind of showing how Augusta kind of knows what to do to contrast perfectly this Collegiate team.
Ball tipped, finds Borm, though, gets it off in the paint. Mishandled pass, still controlled, though. And too many steps, though, that time as Ratcliffe tried to control the pass. So Spartans will get the ball once again. Yeah, Aiden, I think the story of this half so far for the Spartans has just been the inability to score. Simple as that.
Absolutely. There's really nothing more to say. Augusta controlling the ball most of the game, just not letting Collegiate have any kind of opportunity to score.
Another turnover by the Spartans in the full court press. Woodsmall takes the 3, no good, missed long. Borm gets the rebound and puts it back in. It was Ella Borm that time. Things starting to fall apart quickly for the Spartans as a reach-in foul is going to be called that time on Woodsmall. Downing was trying to take the ball down the other side of the court.
Augusta fouls on number 4, Presley Woodsmall. Her first.
Spartans just looking a little bit tired and a little bit frustrated right now, not leading to good things.
Yeah, fouls are starting to turn up, which is always a sign of fatigue. Missed easy defensive plays here, just all kinds of really easy mental mistakes being made.
Spartans trying to break the full court press, ball down the court. Turnez had it deflected away, out of bounds off an Oriole. So the Spartans will keep possession this time.
Honestly, lucky from Collegiate that wasn't a turnover right there.
Herman, high shot off the glass, no good. Rebound fought for underneath. About 4 different players going for it, and jump ball is going to be called, so Spartans will keep it on the possession arrow. Spartans have to go quick if they want to get themselves back into this game. Downing at the top of the key. Guarded heavily. Downing gets all the way to the rim, tries to put up the shot, is blocked. Heath wants a foul, not going to get it though. Borm passes in the corner to her sister. Pass back out to Borm. Around the perimeter, Ella Born, long 3, no good. Rebound controlled though, back out to Emma Born. Nearly stolen away by the Spartans, unable to do so though. Ball into Bergkamp. And just a bit of a chaotic possession this time, ends in a foul on Tatum Downing.
Collegiate fouls on Tatum Downing.
Man, once again, seeing all kinds of fatigue, mental errors coming in, especially for Tatum Downing, unfortunately showing a bit of fouls and a couple more turnovers than we saw in the first half. Yeah, just not a lot going right for the Spartans right now in this quarter.
or in this half at large. Borm takes the wide open three, can't get it to go off the back iron, fought for underneath. Villagomez able to save it. Finds an Oriole. Monthan, though, tips it away. Monthan's going to have a breakout opportunity down the other side of the court. Stops short, tries to put up the shot, and it goes over the backboard.
Man, once again, another great offensive opportunity by Collegiate, just kind of thrown away, this time literally as the ball goes over the backboard.
Just under 5 minutes left in this one. 23-12, the score in favor of the Orioles. Double team in the corner able to be broken. Ball swung around the perimeter to Borm. It's out to Fleming. Three taken that time, no good. Augusta content just to fire threes up at this point. Villagomez. And a timeout called by Coach Heath before the ball could have been tied up underneath the basket. And Aiden, it seems like once again we find ourselves at one of the end of these games for the girls. And it just seems like a little bit too short this time. And like we said, certainly seemed like they were in this one, just let it slip away.
Man, yeah, I think it hurts all the worse just because this game seemed like this was the one. This was the game of this season so far that Collegiate could really win. But it was kind of just thrown away, especially because of how winnable of a game this was. Augusta has played well, especially utilizing defensive strategies to contrast Collegiate. But in the end, it just came down to the fact that Collegiate could not score a point.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to the depth, too. I mean, definitely careless mistakes for the Spartans, too. Don't want to underemphasize that. But it seems like also the depth just plays a role into that as well. The Spartans maybe only playing 6 in this game. Augusta's trotted out at least 8.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when you can diversify the quantity of players scoring points, makes all the difference.
Downing trapped, and a foul's going to be called a push that time on, I believe, Pfeiffer.
Augusta fouls on number 15.
It's going to be on Fleming instead. 4.5 minutes left in this one. Ball into Herman, takes the long two. No good, missed off the back iron, and rebound secured that time by Brundage. Ball up the court to Borm. Back out to Brundage, thought about the three, didn't take it. Swung out to Pfeiffer. This time the three is taken by Brundage, no good. And pass inside, stolen away by Turnez. Able to pick off the pass that time from Borm. Villagomez picks up her dribble, gets it to Downing, gets it off to Herman, as Herman has a free pass to the basket for the first 2 points of this half for the Spartans.
First points of the entire half of this Collegiate team.
Ball stolen away by Herman, as the Spartans have a little bit of life here late in the going. 3.5 minutes left in this one, down by 9. Villagomez picks up the dribble, gets it back out to Downing. Downing surveys the defense, tries to get it off to Herman, but it's picked off. 2-on-2 down the other side of the court. Good screen in transition, and Augusta has a free path to the basket. Fleming gets it to go. So quick answer by Augusta. Spartan deficit back to 11. Pass inside and a wild shot taken that time by Turnez. Foul's going to be called on the shot, however, so Turnez will go to the line for 2.
Her third personal.
Collegiate seems to have turned up a little bit of the heat here, but I'm thinking it might be a little bit too little, too late, as this score has kind of run away from them just a little bit, especially in a no-score second half.
Turnez's first free throw gets it to go.
Important to mention, this is the only points scored so far this game by anyone other than Julia Hermes.
Turnez, second free throw up and good. 2 solid free throws that time by Maddie Turnez. And the Spartans cut the lead back down to 9. Although it seems like at this point for the Spartans might be just a little bit too little, too late. 3 minutes left in this one. Spartans are going to have to go quick to get back into this one. Pass into Borum. Borum took a couple of jumps with it. Ball fought for underneath. Bodies flying all over the court and turned over that time. A travel called as an Augusta player tried to secure the ball and slid with it on the court. Spartans have a chance to maybe cut this to a 2-possession game. Ball thrown down court to really no man's land and turned over as it finds the hands of Brundage. Borum hands it off to her sister. Back to Borum. 3 gets it to go.
3-pointer by Ella Borum.
Pure shot that time by Ella Borum. And Augusta gets a big 3. Maybe an exclamation point on this game and what's been a fantastic one for Ella Borum.
Emma Borum, her first. Team's fourth of the quarter.
Spartans now trail 28-16, 2.5 minutes left in the game. And just an absent-minded pass turned over back down the other side of the court. Layup no good. Borum follows it up, no good. Third chance and goes out of bounds, so the Spartans will control it.
Collegiate having a little bit of luck as the calls are starting to go a little bit in their favor, but once again, doesn't really matter.
Collegiate.
Yeah,
Full timeout.
Ratcliffe missed an open layup that time, unable to extend the lead for the Orioles. But either way, 28-16 runs the score, and Coach Heath will take another timeout for the Spartans, trying to reorganize his team a little bit to try to get this one back into a little bit more manageable of a distance early on, or late in the going.
Yeah, my issue right here is it seems Collegiate has just about as much pessimism as can be, especially just basically throughout this entire fourth quarter, even before it was completely out of their hands, as this score has been kept relatively low on both sides. But at this point, even if they collect any kind of fire, any kind of motivation to win this game, with the time now working against them, it might be a little too late for them to pull any kind of motion, any kind of offense together.
Yeah, and it just seems like the frustration has set in many ways for the Spartans. It seems like, they'll get a good run going, and then a little bit of frustration sets in, and that just kind of can turn the tide really quickly. I mean, we saw it. They went on a huge 10-0 run, and then when that got responded to by a 5-0 run from Augusta, it seems like the wheels just kind of fell off the wagon for the Spartans.
Yeah, absolutely.
And reach-in foul going to be called on the Orioles that time, as Woodsmall reached in, trying to go for the steal in the open court.
Leslie Woodsmall, her second. Team's fifth of the quarter.
Trying to put on the press. That will send the Spartans to the line. Certainly the last thing that Augusta's going to want to be doing at this point in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. At a point where Collegiate wants to be picking up any kind of points they can, this is certainly not the time to be making stupid fouls.
Downing goes to the line for the bonus. First free throw, no good, off the front of the rim. Downing's second free throw, off the rim and good. So Downing gets her first point of the game. Spartans now trail by 11. Pass stolen in the full court by the Spartans. Ball into Herman. Foul. Couldn't get the follow-up to go, but Herman will go to the line for another 2 for the Spartans.
Man, once again, as we kind of already said, I would expect a timeout coming up here from Augusta soon here, as the fouls have.
Augusta.
Just as I was saying that, Augusta calls a timeout here, as their players seem to also have kind of set into this almost laissez-faire kind of strategy here, as they just, with the lead they've accumulated, kind of playing a little bit more loosely going into this last part of the game.
Yeah, it certainly seems like the Orioles have this one secured, but like I said, the last thing you want to do is send the Spartans to the line for free throws without the clock running.
Absolutely. If Collegiate is going to crawl their way back, as they still do have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, and it's not completely unheard of to get a good amount of points real quick, especially with how kind of runny this game has been. It's still just not wise to send them to the line.
Julia Herman at the line, shooting 2 shots.
Herman's first free throw gets it to go. She'll have a chance to cut this to a single-digit game. 2.5 left. Second free throw up and good. Herman gets it to go, but lane violation is called and the basket's waved off, so the Spartan deficit stays at 10 points. Augusta trying to inbound it, finds Woodsmall. Spartans employing a full court press once again, this time broken though by Borm. Ball out to Woodsmall on the left corner. Back to Borm. To Ratcliffe. Woodsmall for three, no good. Rebound fought for, still fought for underneath. Borm comes down with it, gets it back out to Woodsmall. Back out to Ella Borm. This ball inside, and a push is going to be called that time on Turnez. So foul on the Spartans.
Good Lord, seems like Collegiate has regained a little bit of composure, but that's not stopping certain numbers of their players from just making some stupid errors, as Collegiate has not had the depth to really pull Tatum Downing out of this game at any point, I don't think.
Ball nearly thrown away by Augusta, and it is. Turnover out of bounds. Spartan ball, 1 minute 44 left. They trail by 10, score 28-18. Aidens feel like the Spartans have to score this possession to have any kind of hope in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. However, if it continues at this pace, the clock is clicking down faster than Collegiate can score, and it seems a little bit away from them.
Downing tries to get the pass away, nearly stolen. Ball finds Conrad, fortunately, for the Spartans. And Downing controls point now at the top of the key. Back to Conrad on the right wing. Herman calling for it and just passed over her head. As another turnover for the Spartans in the second half. Gives it back to Augusta down the other side of the court. Ratcliffe rejected out of bounds. Julia Herman able to send it packing.
Great move by Julia Herman there. Really just, honestly, a huge move right there. It doesn't really matter to the pace of the game or kind of probably the outcome, but still just a fun move to see.
Yeah, really good job of Herman to get down the court and block the ball. Either way, it stays with Augusta. Borm dribbling against her. Gives it up to her sister. Back to Borm. Long three. Gets it to go.
Wow.
By Ella Borm.
Ella Borm gets a long three. Might have been from about college distance there. Downing takes the ball up for the Spartans. Under a minute left in this one. Herman on the low block. Tries to dribble the baseline. Is going to be forced to her right. Passes it away. And gives it off to Turnez. Turnez, top of the key, tries to get into Monahan. Finds her. Layup off the glass is good.
Once again, a great move by Collegiate there, especially on offense as the crowd starts to get a little more packed. But as 30 seconds click down.
Yeah, good score by Monahan there. And the Orioles pass the ball out of bounds, so the Spartans will get this one back with 30 seconds left.
Collegiate still behind, however, by 11 points, only 25 seconds left. I think at this point we can say with absolute security.
Herman, low block, can't get it to go. Ball nearly saved out of bounds by Conrad. Unable, though, to save it. And it'll go Augusta's way. They might be able to just dribble this clock out. Collegiate's going to make them get the ball down to half court, though. Woodsmall gets the ball into Borm. Borm secures it, gets it off to her sister. Takes another three. Ella Borm, no good. Tried to get a final exclamation mark to this game, and the ball goes out of bounds off an Oriole, so the Spartans will retain possession now.
12 seconds to try and put any kind of positive last note for Collegiate here.
Downing takes the ball up for the Spartans. 7 seconds left. Conrad for three, no good. Herman rebounds it, gets a shot up to go, no good. Just off the back iron. Herman, third chance, no good. And that'll bring this game to a close. The final score, 31-20 in favor of the Augusta Orioles. Aiden, I think this one is really only one that can be described as a frustrating loss for the Spartans. Seemed like they were in this game for the whole entire first half. Seemed like they really probably should have gone into the locker room up in this one. Just slipped away from them and really kind of in all aspects just kind of came out flat to start the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talked about this being a very, very winnable game at the half, and kind of in the second half, kind of just capitalized on the fact of how if Collegiate is going to lose these kind of winnable games in the first half and then just score 0 points in the third quarter and then kind of just be very slow and stumbly to start in the fourth quarter, it just makes it hugely frustrating and hard to be a Collegiate girls team member, as they are just really struggling to make anything happen offensively throughout the entire game.
Yeah, Aiden, 16 turnovers tonight for the Spartans. Seemed like a big majority of those ended up coming in the second half, and that certainly doomed them, I think, in many ways. It's just, yeah, like I said, it's a frustrating loss for the Spartans. Certainly felt like they could have been in this one a lot longer than they were. Just didn't turn out to be.
Absolutely, especially how we only had 3 turnovers in the entire first quarter, then only another 4 in the second quarter, and then it just went up exponentially. Seemed like all the turnovers were just clouded together throughout the entire second half.
Well, the positive light for the Spartans was the 15 points and 7 rebounds of Julia Herman. Other than that, though, a frustrating performance from the Spartans as they lose this one. Going away as the boys team enters the court, so won't get fooled again. That'll wrap up our coverage of the Collegiate Sports Network tonight for the girls game. We'll be back in about 30 minutes for the start of the boys. Hello and welcome back to the Collegiate Sports Network as we get ready for tonight's boys basketball game between the 3-2 Wichita Collegiate Spartans and the Augusta Orioles. Collegiate comes off a bit of a nervy win in their last one against the Rose Hill Rockets. Certainly a team that Collegiate usually is able to handle pretty well. Only came out of that one winning by 11. The score was 44-33, and before that the Spartans kind of crumbled away a game against the Andale Indians, their bitter rival. So they'll look to get a little bit more positive momentum going in this one, even though they are without arguably their two best offensive players in Jaden Parker and Sebastian Hines-Turner. Aiden, what's it going to take for the Spartans tonight to get a little bit of positive momentum going?
What's it going to take? It's going to take some offensive power, really. I know you, as you just mentioned here, Collegiate critically missing two of their best and highest scoring offensive players outside of AJ Batiste. He's really been put into a situation here where he's kind of got to carry this Collegiate offensive team. You know, Collegiate, we have a lot of really athletic guys, really talented guys, honestly, and basically all of our seniors, James Shackelford, Brett Wetta, Asa Ahmad, Robbie Raspberry, all guys who are just downright athletic and good at the game. But clearly, as we've seen so far, AJ Batiste, they really all kind of just center around supplying him the ball and him taking it into the goal. Which is only a reliable strategy to a certain extent. We're looking at I think we talked about a little bit before the game here, a LeBron James situation where, at this point in his career, he definitely can't carry an entire team's offensive points, where Collegiate really doesn't have any other strong, consistent points to turn to. However, conversely, that does make for a really diverse and great defensive team in Collegiate, whereas all of them know how to play the game, how to really work well with each other, and try and force the other team back as much as possible. But as we kind of saw in football, good defense doesn't make a winning game. Good offense, however, can make for winning games every time.
Yeah, Aiden, I think that's a good point. It's kind of a certain situation that we talked about with the girls to a certain extent, maybe a little bit lesser with the guys, but when your offense mostly feeds through one player, it makes it really easy for the defense to focus on that one guy and take their chances elsewhere, and it seems like that's what teams have been doing all season long to the Spartans so far, and it's something they're going to have to work to do. Maybe a little bit better ball movement, got to trust a couple of guys to make shots from time to time. I think that's going to be key.
Absolutely, but talking a little bit about AJ Batiste, his contribution cannot be understated. Talking to a couple of the Augusta parents even here, even they know his name. They know that their kids are a little bit worried about him, and his just raw power and talent to not only just bring it down in the paint for not dunks and layups, but also just one of the smoothest shooters I've ever seen in high school football, or basketball. He's really just such a diverse and aggressive player that every single team has to look out for.
Yeah, Aiden, I think that's a good point. He's a really good player. The thing is, though, he just has to make sure that the whole offense doesn't go through him. I think that's the most important thing. We'll take a pause for the national anthem as we get ready to go here from Wichita Collegiate.
Stand, face the flag, remove your hands, please. As the Wichita Collegiate Madrigals, under the direction of Matt Weber, sing our national anthem.
Aiden, circling back to that conversation that we had on A.J. Batiste, certainly when you're a player that's averaging 20 points a game at this point, it's well known that you're a threat in many ways. Certainly no doubt about that. Just what I want to see from him, though, is to play under control this game. Certainly seemed like in the Andale game he went at times uncontrolled to the rim, and it certainly hurt the offense. I think when he gets into that situation, you got to kind of pull the ball back out and find your teammates.
Absolutely, and that's something Collegiate can really do to support him. Is they have a lot of great playmakers, especially in Asa Ahmad, even Brett Weta on the outside that really could support him in those situations well, feeding him the ball. But when he goes uncontrolled up to the basket, other teams really know to expect him there, really know to counter him there. And it makes it really, really hard for him to do anything if he isn't able to control himself.
Starting lineups being announced here from Wichita Collegiate. We see Shackelford and Weta already announced into the game. Been a really big, impactful defensive couple of players on the front line for the Spartans. Certainly valuable to the defense for the Spartans. Hopefully we'll get to see them show a little bit of their offensive prowess tonight. Like we said, going to need a little bit more varied scoring. It'll be something we look forward to in this game.
Absolutely. As we go up into this game, we were talking a little bit about the size advantage that Collegiate has until we kind of saw this number 25, Gavin, 6'4" senior. Seems like Collegiate they don't necessarily have a huge size advantage in general, but that really doesn't matter when you have athleticism and strength, especially at this point in the game.
Yeah, Aiden, as I see both these teams being announced, seems like pretty evenly matched as far as size goes. Now, obviously, if the Spartans had their guys, Sebastian Hines-Turner and Jaden Parker, would be a little bit of a different story, but taking away a little bit of that size for the Spartans certainly evens these teams out in many ways. David Chege obviously kind of towers over everyone there, standing about 6'5". But at times, he's a little bit rough in the paint. You want to see him get going maybe a little bit more smooth around the rim. Would really make him a threat. For now, though, you hope that they aren't able to contain him or box him up.
Oh, absolutely. But I think the story of this entire season so far, especially for Collegiate, has just been the players that they've been lacking in Jaden and Sebastian. Really just shows how key they are.
Chege takes tip for the Spartans and able to control it. Kaiser went after the ball, just unable to come down with it. Weta hands it off to Ahmad, and the Spartans will get rolling here on offense. Their up-tempo game that they love to play. Ahmad kicks it around to Weta, out to Shackelford, left key. Shackelford passes it to nobody. Really just passed it to Blackwell on the inside.
Yeah, definitely a mental mistake there as he just passed it right to the opponents.
Blackwell down the left side, hands it off to Kaiser. Kaiser guarded heavily by Chege. Going to be an interesting matchup all night long. Out to Ruddle, hands it back off to Haskell. Haskell kicks it off to Pfeiffer in the corner, gives it back off to Ruddle. Ruddle, ball nearly taken away. Blackwell barely able to come down with it. Ruddle into the lane, goes against Weta, and a blocking foul is going to be called. Probably could have gone either way there, but Weta's going to get whistled for the block.
Number 5, Brent Weta, his first, team's first of the quarter.
Ruddle went deep into the lane, not whistled for the charge, though. Ball handed off to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer thought about the three, declined to take it. Ball out to Ruddle down the right baseline. Pulls it back out to Kaiser, swung around. Ball taken back out by Blackwell. Now top of the point to Haskell. Kicks it back to Ruddle. Back out to Kaiser, top of the key, guarded by Shackelford now. Kaiser dribbles in, gets an in-pass through, deflected, no good. Shot was by Haskell. Heavily contested and partially blocked by A.J. Batiste. Weta dribbles into the free throw line, gets it off to Shackelford, takes the runner on the block, no good. Chege fighting for the rebound, able to come down with a lot of contact down low, and a foul is going to be called. Reach in that time.
Yeah, no question on that one. Hard to compete with height. Forced to take the foul as Chege just dominated three Augusta players there for the rebound.
Really good job by David Chege to come down with that rebound for the Spartans and draw the foul that time by Logan Pfeiffer. Three in the corner. Batiste can't get it to go off the front of the rim and rebounded out to Augusta. Fought for in the backcourt, though. just barely secured. Kaiser comes down with it now and gets the pass off away to Blackwell. Blackwell took too many steps as he tried to gather, and it's a travel.
Man, it seems like Augusta really can't keep up with this high-paced game that Collegiate is running here.
Certainly back and forth so far for both teams, still knotted at 0. 6.5 minutes left in the quarter. Just barely getting underway here from Wichita Collegiate. Ahmad kicks it in the right corner to Batiste, swung back out to Raspberry. Raspberry dribbles in against his defender, and he took too many steps. Raspberry tried to gather himself, but he picked up his pivot foot, and that'll be a turnover on the Spartans. Spartans are going to employ their full court press. Ball into Kaiser, back to Ruddle. Ruddle dribbles up down the left side. Picks it up, immediately double-teamed Kaiser out around half court. Able to dribble out of it, contested by Raspberry. Hands the ball back off to Haskell. Haskell gives it off to Blackwell. Blackwell tried to get it to Kaiser, passed over his head though. And another turnover, so this game going back and forth with turnovers being exchanged for both sides, as Collegiate's going to have their chance to finally take some kind of advantage in this one early on.
That's number 10, Blackwell's third turnover of the game so early into the game, barely a couple minutes into it.
Grace dribbles in newly into the game, gives it off to Raspberry. Raspberry dribbles in, tries to find Grace, who was cutting to the rim. Couldn't get it to him, though. Chege now on the high block. Defender falls, no foul called. Batiste in the lane, through contact, gets it to go.
Basket by A.J. Batiste.
Men really cannot be stopped.
Batiste cut his way through 2 defenders to get it in. Augusta able to get the ball up court. It's Haskell with the ball. Gets it off to Kaiser, fake the 3. Grace on him. Blackwell now. Left side, gives it back off. Haskell at the top of the key. Gives it off to Blackwell. Blackwell now into Kaiser, low block, puts up the field goal, no good, in and out. Batiste comes down with the rebound for the Spartans.
That was a clear opportunity for Augusta wasted.
Grace dribbles the baseline, kicks it back out to Raspberry. Raspberry around the right corner, hands off to Batiste. Batiste cuts in against 2 defenders, up, no good. Just left it a little bit short. Batiste comes down with his own rebound, though, gets it off to Grace, puts it up, off the glass and good. Jack Grace off the window.
Man,
good effort play there by the Spartans, gets him another 2. Back down the court quickly the other way. Haskell, foul called before the shot, I believe. I think it's a foul on Robbie Raspberry.
Collegiate fouls on number 22, Robbie Raspberry.
And it is. We'll see if they call it on the floor. It looks like they will, as Augusta's going to inbound this ball from under the basket. Haskell's going to be looking to get it in. Ball back in play. Hard contact under the rim as Pfeiffer went up for it. Ahmad called on the block.
wow. Interesting call there. Looked like a bit of a charge from up here, but once again, Collegiate called against them for the blocking.
Yeah, Aiden, I don't know. One of those 50-50 plays once again there for the Spartans. Either way, though, Augusta going to the line for 2 free throws. Pfeiffer's first one misses short. Seems like Augusta wants to use a little bit of their size in this game. Certainly Pfeiffer and Kaiser, pretty big bodies in there so far for Augusta. Trying to utilize that size. Haven't quite been able to do it so far, but able to draw the foul that time. Second free throw also misses in and out. Drumright comes down with the rebound and gets it out to Raspberry. Ahmad in the right corner, hands it back off to Shackelford. Shackelford at the right elbow, crosses up Kaiser, passes it back out to Drumright, now back out to Raspberry. Shackelford, top of the key, picks up his dribble, looking for someone to hand it off to, double team, gets it off to Grace. Grace dribbles right, spins, pulls the ball back out to the perimeter. Grace tries to dribble in again, hands it off to Raspberry. Back out to Ahmad as the Spartans will reset from the top of the key. Ahmad dribbles into the right, behind his back, off to Raspberry. Open three, no good, short off the rim, rebound secured. That time by Pfeiffer. Grace flew in just a little too late. Haskell takes the ball up for the Orioles. 4-0 the score, just under 4 minutes left in the quarter. High pass in, tried to find Kaiser, I think instead threw it off the rim. Spartans moving back down quickly the other way. Shackelford Euro steps his defender up and in.
Wow, what a move by Shackelford right there.
Timeout.
Quick timeout called by Augusta's coach, Ryan Petty.
Yeah, no surprise there as Collegiate leads 6-0. Man, what a high-paced game so far. Only 4 minutes left in this first quarter. Barely got able to really breathe for us up here as Collegiate utilizes their typical all-in, no foot off the gas gameplay. Saw some great moves there by A.J. Batiste, Jack Grace, and James Shackelford, all great players on offense, really doing a good job playing off each other. As Augusta really seems to have zero answer for such a high-intensity gameplay so far.
Yeah, and you talked about it. The Spartans love to play this high-paced style of offense, and it pays dividends for them most times in these types of games. Able to get out to a quick 6-0 lead. The question seems to be usually, can they keep that intensity up? We saw it fade at times, especially in that Andale game. Key for the Spartans is going to keep the foot on the throat so far in this game. Going to have to keep that pressure up.
Yeah, absolutely, especially once you're going up against such big guys like these Augusta players have. You can't ever really, if you're going to play the high-intensity game, you cannot stop playing the high-intensity game. It's basically a gamble that Collegiate is taking here, that they're going to be able to put their foot on the gas and never take it off, because if they do, that's a great time for Augusta to capitalize.
Riggs newly into the game for Augusta. Kaiser in the backcourt. Drumright defending him heavily. Augusta trying to get the ball across the timeline, unable to do so. Drumright picks it off. High leaping turnover brought down by Drumright. Ahmad in the corner gets it off to Shackelford. Shackelford now tries to cross up his defender, gets it off to Simon newly in the game. Shackelford now down the right side. Pulls it back out, picks up his dribble. Weta cuts instead. Ball tried to get it to Simon, picked off by Haskell instead. Augusta moving back down the other way. Haskell, 5-on-4 opportunity and kick ball on Shackelford. It's going to bring a halt to play.
Number 20, Caleb Martin in the game for Augusta.
Shackelford having a bit of a frustrating night so far, so early into this game, as he's been kind of thrown into the mass of these Augusta players.
Riggs looking to get the ball in. Time starting to run out on him. Finally gets it in. Throws it into a massive Spartans. And a 2-on-1 opportunity down the other side of the court. Ahmad lays it up off the glass. Good roll and in. Asa Ahmad.
A player we don't see get a lot of points ever for a layup. Beautiful play right there.
Quick transition down the other side of the court. Haskell tries to put it off the rim. Can't get it to go. No good off the glass. Spartans moving quickly down the other side of the court. Drumright pulls it out as the Spartans didn't have numbers. Weta on the left wing. Gets back out to Ahmad, top of the key. Back off to Drumright. Drumright dribbles into the lane, off the glass and good. Carter Drumright knifes his way through the defense like a hot knife through butter. And a turnover on the other side off the Orioles, and the Spartans are going to have this ball on the Augusta side of the court, up 10-0 with 2.5 minutes left in the quarter.
All the size in the world does not matter when our smallest player can just cut right through there going up for the layup. Collegiate just on fire right now.
Ahmad looking for someone to get it into, finally finds Simon. Back to Ahmad now, he'll control the point from the right wing. Ahmad gets it off to Weta. Weta dribbles right, gets it off to Drumright. Now out to Shackelford, right elbow, picks up his dribble, nearly traveled. Ball tipped away that time by Kaiser. Weta able to save it from being stolen away. Weta resets, crosses up his defender, tries to get in the corner to Simon, instead deflected away out of bounds. Spartans will inbound it from the coffin corner.
Great work by Gavin, number 25 there, trying to slow down this Collegiate onslaught. The Orioles here really doing whatever they can to stop this run by Collegiate, as they are now up 10-0.
Drumright looking to get it in, finds Grace. Drumright dribbles in, quick pass to Chege. Chege wasn't expecting it, and it dribbles off of him out of bounds.
Seemed like a bit of a mental error right there, as Chege was really just fighting bodies down there, utilizing his size.
Another full court press instituted by the Spartans. This time the ball's up court quickly, off the glass, no good. Ruddle tried to get it to go, went up against Chege to no avail.
So many missed layups there by Augusta.
Raspberry down the other side of the court, has it on the right baseline, puts up the shot against two defenders, misses everything, and Ruddle comes down with the rebound. Ruddle breaks the half court, tipped away, ball on the floor, and a foul is going to be called on Grace. Kind of wrapped up number 20 there, Caleb Martin, and he's going to be a little bit slow to get up.
Collegiate definitely having a little bit of trouble with these fouls so far tonight, playing such a physical team, having to use bodies to try and be utilized on defense.
Drumright checks out in favor of Ahmad. And Augusta's going to have a chance to inbound this one under the basket. Score still 10-0, minute 40 left in the first quarter. Ball out to Haskell. Haskell off to Riggs, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound tipped, secured, blocked by David Chege on the putback, and ball out of bounds off Raspberries. He tried to save it. So Augusta retains possession here, but a blocked putback shot.
You know, we kind of describe Chege as kind of an on or an off player, as his size kind of stops him from moving consistently, but right there, that was a great defensive move.
Haskell takes the ball up for Augusta. Gets it back off to Ruddle. Ruddle tries to put it up, blocked by Ahmad. Bodies fly to the floor. Second chance attempt, no good. David Chege boxes out and gets the rebound. A.J. Batiste now quickly down the other court, stops, puts up the shot, gets it to go. Soft touch off the rim for A.J. Batiste. And Jack Grace forces a turnover the Spartans' way. Didn't even really see what happened. I think Grace tipped it off of Haskell out of bounds. So the Spartans will inbound it under the basket with a chance to score another goal as they already lead 12-0.
Man, Collegiate working so well tonight, you wouldn't even realize they have a star player.
Batiste, runner in the lane, can't get it to go. Foul called, though. He'll go to the line for two.
Augusta fouls on Logan
You wouldn't even
Ruddle.
realize that AJ is their star player. The rest of their team is just moving so well tonight. However, AJ has already picked up 4 of his own points, looking for another 2 here.
First free throw rims out. Batista struggled a little bit from the line to start off this season. If I had to guess on a percentage, it'd be about 65, maybe 70%. You certainly hope for that to be a little bit higher for the Spartans. Batista's second free throw gets it to go. Score now 13-0 as the Spartans out to a big early advantage. Ruddle gets the ball in, 3-on-3 opportunity down the court. Ball deflected out of bounds off the Spartans. Looks like it went off Raspberry.
Number 4 kind of realizing those breakaways aren't really as assured as he thought they might be, looking for the pass, but to no avail.
Yeah, and Ruddle's done a good job to break the press so far this game. Just once he gets around the rim, it seems like he's faced by about 2 or 3 Spartan defenders every single time. Ruddle that time around the rim, though, finds absolutely no one around him and puts it in for 2.
First Augusta points of the game so far.
Augusta finally able to get on the board as this one now runs 13-2. Ahmad, quick hook pass to Batiste. Batiste dribbles all the way in, met at the rim, blocked, but a foul is called. See who they assess this one to. About 3 defenders met Batiste, as this one's going to be on 25, Gavin Kaiser.
As AJ goes up for another additional 2 points.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, though, Aiden, seems like the Spartans have done a really good job of moving the ball this game. That's been a key. And a lot of guys have gotten around the rim and have done a good job finishing at the rim. Haven't missed a lot of close shots in. Just been an overall good game for the Spartans so far.
Absolutely.
Batiste gets the first free throw to go. Second one on the way. Good. A.J. Batiste, 3 of 4 from the line now for the Spartans as they lead 15-2. Kaiser's going to look to inbound the ball, but Wetta's going to be guarding that inbounds as the Spartans look to have a little bit of a soft press here as Ahmad picks up Haskell. Jack Grace intercepts it and then dribbles the ball out of bounds. Just a little bit too fast, a little too much momentum going the other way for Jack Grace as he dribbled it out of bounds. Good job to jump and pick it off, though. We certainly see the kind of athlete he is.
Absolutely. He may have a bit of a size disadvantage, especially against these Augusta guys, but he does have the willpower and the aggressive play style to make up for it.
Ruddle takes up the point now for the Orioles. Dribbling against Batiste. Right around half court. Got the ball across, though. Ruddle knifes his way in through the lane. Euro step, but he took 3 instead of 2 as he went up. Travel called.
Man, great move by him right there. If not only for that third step, that would have been an absolutely electric move.
Yeah, he just didn't get quite close enough to the rim and had to take that third step, and he got whistled for the travel.
David Sullivan into the game for Augusta.
Just 9 seconds now left in the quarter. Collegiate going to try to get something going quick. Augusta's going to move up to try to press the Spartans to try to prevent something here. Batiste able to get a bit of a run out, passes in the corner to Raspberry, deflected out of bounds, and they're going to say Raspberry touched it last. So now Augusta going to have a chance with 3 seconds left on the clock to get something going the other way.
Logan Ruddle and Gavin Kaiser back into the game for the Orioles.
A little bit of confusion for Augusta as to who's in the game, it looks like, or maybe what the substitution is. Have it set, underhand pass thrown in. Grace picks it off, puts it up, no good at the buzzer. So the score rounds out at 15-2 to end the quarter as the Spartans out to a great start.
I think the name of the game for Augusta so far is turnovers, as Augusta has pulled together so far nine turnovers so far, especially with how just lobby their passes have been. Trying to break this full court defense that Collegiate has employed has really worked against them, with especially Jack Grace just being an absolute interceptor all day today, as he's just picked up those lobbing passes, jumping over all of the Augusta players. But really, I mean, other than that, nothing can really be said except for just Collegiate is playing a great game so far tonight. As they have a bit of diversity so far points-wise. However, with AJ Batiste already scoring 7 of his own, as Collegiate leads 15-2.
Yeah, Aiden, a good point. 5 Spartans in the scoring column already. It's been Shackelford, Grace, Drumright, Batiste, and even Chege getting 2 in there. I like the nickname for Jack Grace, though, the Interceptor. I think we might have to use that one a little bit in the future. Like you said, I mean, Jack Grace looks like a DB out there right now. He looks like more he's trying to hunt passes than he is anything else, and he's doing it to great effect. I mean, certainly has gotten in the way of the Orioles. Like you said, 9 turnovers. That's an incredible amount for 1 quarter.
Absolutely.
Ball back in play now as Riggs takes up the point. Riggs met at the top of the key. Spartans coming out with the same intensity that they started the game with. Ball nearly picked off instead. Ball out around the perimeter to Pfeiffer. Riddle picks it up, goes up, foul, and count the basket. David Chege got caught jumping.
Man, number 4 doing a great job breaking this Collegiate defense with just pure power. It's kind of blown up in his face just a couple times, not super consistent, but still the man with the only points on the board for Augusta so far.
Yeah, Aiden Ruddle certainly seems like a really good athlete as we are early in this going. Seems like he's trying to take matters into his own hands, though a lot of times has been sent packing a couple of times around the rim by Chege and the like. Either way, though, he gets that one to go, converts the 3-point play. Score now 15-5 in favor of the Spartans. Ahmad takes it up the court, hands it off to Weta in the left corner. Out to Chege, nearly stolen away. Weta now gets the ball back. Weta dribbles around to the top of the key. Dribble handoff to Batiste. Batiste surveys the defense, steps up, shoots. Off the window, no good. And rebound secured that time by Pfeiffer. Ball back down the other side of the court. Riggs controlling point now for Augusta. Kaiser contested by Chege, who's pulled way out from the basket. Chege still playing against Kaiser. Kaiser backing him down, surrounded by 4 defenders, lays it up off the glass and good.
Wow, what an aggressive but amazing move by Kaiser right there.
Kaiser somehow found space and 3 defenders, just cut his way through and found a
Basket by Kaiser.
Kaiser gets it to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't run off at halftime. We have the WCS drum line here to entertain us, followed by the WCS dance team.
Yes,
Yeah.
Spartan Press starting to give a little bit of problems to the Orioles.
Absolutely, as Collegiate is alternatively is kind of starting to struggle against this 1-2 combo here, 25 and number 4,
Orioles ball.
as they're able to pressure in against the collegiate defense.
Yeah, and Ruddle and Kaiser have been high points so far for this Augusta defense. 8 seconds now left. Ball into Ruddle. Ruddle gives it off the glass, no good. Kaiser's putback, no good, but Raspberry's going to be called for the foul on the putback.
Collegiate fouls on
Raspberry
his
struggling
third.
with all kinds of fouls, his 3rd so far tonight.
Team's third of the quarter.
Yeah, tough foul for Raspberry there. 3.3 seconds left in the half as Kaiser's going to go to the line to try to cut this to single digits. First free throw is good.
Logan Pfeiffer back into the game for Augusta. Devin Kaiser at the line shooting 1 shot.
Kaiser's got 1 free throw left at the line. Certainly has played well this game. Second free throw up and good. Kaiser gets them both to go. Now a 9-point game right before halftime. 3.3 seconds left. 28-19 runs the score. Spartans will try to get a quick hitter here going into the locker room to keep momentum on their side.
Back into the game for Collegiate.
Augusta managing to bring it back down into a single-digit game right here before they go back into the half.
Spartans trying to get the ball in, finds Batiste. Batiste at half court, dribbles in, takes the wild 3 at the buzzer, no good off the glass. Just couldn't quite get it to go as we'll go into the halftime. The Spartans lead 28-19. It's been a good half so far for the Spartans. Had one little run there of Augusta that they were able to cut this lead back down. So we go into halftime, single-digit lead for the Spartans, but it is a 9-point lead at that.
Absolutely. An absolutely electric night so far. Really high-paced gameplay, especially by Wichita Collegiate, as Augusta really could not keep up in the first quarter of this game, as they are now trying to claw their way back into a contendable game here. As they've done a pretty good job so far, bringing it up to 19 points for them, especially as we were talking about a little bit. Number 25, Kaiser, and number 4 have just been absolutely electric, each picking up 8 or 9 points for themselves. Just absolutely amazing players right there, showing that Augusta has a little bit of diversity to throw at Collegiate.
Yeah, it certainly seems like the Spartans have been able to stem most runs in this game, but they got to be careful not to let this thing get down to too much of a level. It seemed like when they got that big lead, that kind of 15-3 lead, it seemed like they were going to start to run away with this game. Unable to do so, they're kind of keeping Augusta at arm's length as this one goes on. Either way, we'll see if the Spartans are able to come out with the same intensity out of the locker room as they lead 28-19. It's been a fun one so far. We'll take a 10-minute break and be back with you for the start of the second half. Welcome back to the Collegiate Sports Network as we get ready to start the second half. Spartans lead 28-19 behind good scoring from A.J. Batiste, Carter Drumright, and James Shackelford with a flurry of defensive efforts, both in the full court press and in the half court sets for the Spartans. Have them out to this advantage. They started the game off with a huge run, 15 out. Let that get away just a little bit as they find themselves only up 9 at this point. Going to have to look to maintain that lead and increase it a little bit. Aiden, what are they going to have to do to make sure they do that?
Yeah, you know, we talked a little bit about those crazy defensive efforts, and I think it's paid off well as Augusta has now pulled together an accumulated 14 turnovers between them. As you know, we talked a little bit about Jack, the interceptor here.
Yeah, I do have to agree with you, Aiden. I think we're going to have to measure this game in the intangibles for the Spartans, which is the effort and the intensity. At this half, they walk out of here with a win. Takes up the ball for the Spartans as we get going here in the second half. Spartans up 9. Shackelford guarded heavily, gets into the defense, off the glass, and good. Athletic shot from Shackelford, fading away from the basket. Good strength to get it off the window, and good. Good start to the half for the Spartans. That's Shackelford's 7th point of the night. Doing a good job to get the scoring going, and a 10-second call as Kaiser could not get the ball across half court. The Spartans get a quick turnover.
More good looks for Collegiate going into the second half so far, already forcing another turnover.
Shackelford, a bit of a no-look pass, gets it to Ahmad. It's still control point for the Spartans. Taking it up slowly. Top of the key, dribbles right. Ahmad picks it up, looking for someone, finds Weta in the middle of the zone. Can't get it to go, though, off the glass, and rebound brought down by Pfeiffer. Haskell able to get it across half. With the steal, out in transition, Chege recovers, blocked at the rim. Batiste with the follow-up gets it to go off the glass.
Basket by A.J. Batiste.
You know, goes to prove isn't always exciting. A little bit of talent.
And Chege, full intention. Kaiser. Right. Start second half.
Augusta looking to maintain a little bit of that momentum they picked up.
Riggs takes it up the court, passes it off. Now ball out to Ruddle. Ruddle at the top of the key near half court. Gets it back off to Riggs. Ball back out to Riggs, top of the key. Hands it off to Ruddle on the left side. Ruddle dribbles baseline against Ahmad, puts up the shot, no good. Follow-up, no good. Just left it short of the rim as Ahmad secures the rebound. Runs into Ruddle. Ball on the floor. Chege had it for a second and now finally secured by Augusta. Back down the court quickly. Chege falls as he tried to contest the shot, and it's good as Blackwell gets it to go. Just a bit of a collapse there by the Spartans in transition. Chege fell, kind of broke up the play.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a scramble movement there and really unable to maintain their composure.
Batiste gets it into Shackelford. Shackelford on the right side, dribbles, puts up the open, no good, created for himself, but missed it. Rebound out now, Riggs. Draws it back out along the right wing. Hands it back off now to Blackwell. Back to Riggs. Riggs thought about taking the shot instead, drives in, contact, makes it anyway. No foul called though. Back to it.
His very first points of the night.
Back to a 9-point game. Score now 32-23. Weta transition foul. See who it's the It'll be Gavin Kaiser. That's his third.
Grace Raspberry.
Be Drumright and Raspberry checking into the game for the Spartans. Ahmad will take a seat.
Looks like once again, they're a little bit confused in who they're subbing here, the Orioles.
Batiste on screen action, mid-range, no good. And rebound secured by Riggs. Riggs, quick pass down court, just a little too fast though, at the feet. Number 20, Caleb Martin goes. Five minutes now left in the third quarter. Spartans lead by 9, 32-23. Grace backs down Ruddle, and a foul called as Batiste was pushed. That should be an out-of-bounds play from under the basket. Batiste was looking to pass the ball away in the air instead of getting a shot up.
Starting into a high foul kind of a half here.
Yeah, pace has certainly slowed from the first half at this point as Weta checks in for Shackelford. Drumright looking to inbound, finds Weta cutting to the rim, and a foul is going to be called on, I believe, number 20, Caleb Martin. Grabbed Weta's arm as he was trying to go up with it.
Augusta fouls on Isaiah Blackwell, his second, team's third of the quarter.
And instead it'll be on Blackwell.
Man, only a couple minutes into this game, already 3 fouls.
Blackwell atones for his mistake, picks off the pass from Drumright on the inbounds play. Up court now, tried to find Martin instead. Ball tipped out of bounds by Raspberry.
Great defensive move by Raspberry right there.
Riggs inbounding under the basket, looking for someone to find. Finds his man up off the glass, way too strong. It was Pfeiffer trying to get something going. Weta back down the other side of the court. Batiste up through defenders in contact. Count the basket with the foul. A.J. Batiste, really good creative move down low there. Able to go up and under a defender.
Team's fourth of the quarter.
Already the fourth foul of the quarter on Augusta. Batiste shot rims out, can't get the and one to go. And 3-on-1 opportunity down the other side of the court. Layup is good. That time it was Pfeiffer. Collegiate broke down in transition, allowing for an easy layup by Pfeiffer. Grace controls the ball down the other way, picks it up, looking for Drumright. Drumright heavily guarded though. Weta dribbles off his own foot, and the ball is out to the Orioles. Moving quickly down the other way, dribbled off the leg of Blackwell though, turned right back over to Grace. Collegiate looking to move quickly now, 3-on-2. Pass behind Batiste, he's able to corral it before it goes out of bounds, however. Batiste dribbles in, pulls it back out, decides better of driving into 3 defenders.
Once again, slowing down the pace for Collegiate here.
Batiste dribbles right, gets it out to Drumright. Drumright floater rejected, and Blackwell down the other way, 2-on-1 opportunity. Blackwell puts it up, faked out Raspberry, got it to go off the glass.
Isaiah Blackwell.
Down to a 7-point game now, 34-27. And timeout going to be called by Coach Fiegel, looking to regather the Spartans.
As he looks deeply disappointed by his players, as would be expected here, is they're just making all kinds of mental mistakes, putting them behind in their capability to score points. A.J. Batiste here trying to gather the offense together, trying to make rebounds off his other players' mistakes, but the other team, Orioles, are just doing a great job of collecting on those mistakes, capitalizing and forcing turnovers against Collegiate, unlike they have so far at any point in this game.
Yeah, Aiden, it seems like Collegiate getting fed a little bit of their own medicine right now. A lot of pressing, a lot of pushing up on defense for the Orioles. It's leading to breakout possessions, and the Spartans have just not been able to get back in transition a couple of times. I've counted at least 4 free points going to Augusta in that manner for the Spartans.
Absolutely. And as this score kind of starts to wind down a little bit, Collegiate looking for any advantage they can make.
Drumright in the corner passed up the 3 and passed it right to a Augusta defender back down the other side of the court. They don't have numbers this time. Ruddle's going to try to create himself anyway. Missed it off the back iron, and Ahmad controls the rebound. Spartans trying to move quickly once again. Ahmad knifes his way all the way to the lane, and pass deflected out of bounds. Good hustle there by Riggs to break up the pass to the corner.
Number 5, a player with all kinds of turnovers so far this game, is absolutely electric so far in this corner, or in this quarter, trying to force as many turnovers as possible.
Ahmad surveys, gets it into Shackelford on the left wing. Shackelford dribbles in, passes out to Simon. Thought about the 3, faked it instead. Shackelford fakes another 3. Dribbles the baseline now down the right side. Ahmad in the corner for 3. No good, barely. Ball out to Ruddle. Quick transition breakout, and another score for Augusta. Now just a 5-point game. The Spartans looking to regather, trying to get some kind of momentum going back on offense. Pass nearly out of bounds. Instead, Drumright from the top of the key 3, no good. Shackelford comes down with the rebound. Gets it back out to Simon. Simon thought about the 3, gets it back to Ahmad. Ahmad will reset the offense for the Spartans. They're looking to get something going here, starting to get a little bit stagnant. Shackelford at the free throw line, dribbles in, and reach-in foul is going to be called. And looks like it's going to be on number 20. That's on Caleb Martin. And that might send the Spartans to the line, and indeed it will.
James Shackelford at the line, shooting 2 shots.
Augusta over the limit. Shackelford going to the line for 2. First one up, and hits off the front of the rim, no good.
Gavin Kaiser back into the game for the Orioles.
Although Augusta is playing a much more aggressive, much better game than they did in the first quarter, we're definitely seeing a much more physical game as they have now racked up 5 fouls. Just showing how aggressive they want this game, but it's kind of working against them now.
Shackelford gets the second free throw to go, and like you said about the pace, Aiden, it seems like that's what Andale was able to do to the Spartans coming out in the second half. The Spartans controlled the pace of the game all the way through the first half, and then just got slowed down, had to grind out some possessions, and that really, really hurt them. Seeing similar things right now as Augusta's starting to claw their way back into this game, only 2-possession game right now. At 6-6, Drumright steals it, saves it out of bounds, and Shackelford comes away with it. Going to be 5-on-4 down the other side of the court. Shackelford nearly traveled with it. Gives it off to Ahmad instead. Out in the corner to Simon for 3. No good off the back iron. Rebound fought for, out of bounds off of Shackelford, going Augusta's way.
Man, close call right there. Great aggressive gameplay by Carter Drumright. Great move right there, but still very highly contested by Collegiate.
Jen Grace back into the game for Collegiate.
Augusta in possession of the ball. As we said, only down by 2 possessions. A 6-point game right now. Ball in the right corner. It's Blackwell, gets it into Kaiser in the low block. Kicked back out. Ruddle for 3. No good. Rimmed in and out. Rebound fought for Shackelford. 2 bodies on the floor. It's going to be 4-on-4 down the other way. Batiste, ball slipped behind him. Not the best pass from Shackelford. Out of bounds. Spartans still unable to get something going. Just a little bit sloppy still for Collegiate.
Yeah, absolutely. This team has this entire season just not been a second half kind of a team, and they're showing it here. Lots of mental errors, lots of just mistakes, but not only that, just not top-tier gameplay.
Yeah, it seems like the Spartans just try to get a little bit over-aggressive when they need a basket to try to turn the tide, and instead just kind of keep that wave going for the other team. kind of continuing their momentum, turning the ball over at times. Certainly not helping them at all, but Augusta having a chance to get back into this game. Kaiser tries to put it off the glass, no good. Contact around the rim. Officials have been letting him play all night. Ahmad takes it down the other side of the court, and Batiste, the ball just went right through his hands, out of bounds, and Batiste just frustrated with himself. Chege also a little bit frustrated with Batiste as the ball going to be inbounded now for Augusta. Spartans, as we said, not helping themselves here as Augusta tries to claw their way back into it.
Both teams clearly just fighting to get points at this point. Only a minute left in this quarter. We've seen all kinds of mistakes by Collegiate, and Augusta just absolutely fighting to make use of it.
Fiegel coaching up Chege for something down the sideline. Either way, Augusta gets it back across half court. Kaiser, top of the key, gives it off to Blackwell. Right corner, handed off, three-pointer taken and good.
Three-pointer by Brody Haskell.
Brody Haskell drains the three, and Augusta's within one possession now, 35-32, under a minute left in the third quarter. This one closer than the Spartans would like at this point. Batiste trying to do it himself, dribbles against two defenders. Ball stolen away by Haskell. Haskell breakaway down the other side of the court. Chege, hard foul to the basket. That's the only way they're going to stop an open layup.
Makes good use of it too. However, Augusta absolutely playing electrically right now to a pretty much dead Collegiate team. I really don't know what to say other than that this is not the Collegiate team that we saw in the first half.
First free throw is good. And Aiden, like I said, I think that a lot of that comes down to the tempo. They've gotten taken out of their element in many ways by Augusta. They've slowed this game down a little bit, kind of taken this game out of its flow at least. It's moved fast, it's moved slow at times, but the choppy flow is not favoring the Spartans at all. They're just kind of getting out of their mentality of the game right now, and they find themselves only up by 2 points pending this next free throw, which rolls in. So now just a 1 point advantage for the Spartans as their big lead early on in this game is whittled away to just one. Raspberry, his defender fell against him, puts up the shot, no good off the back iron. Chege comes down with the rebound, up in traffic, no good. A little bit of contact. Like we said, though, officials have been letting him play, and that's going to be a carry by Augusta, turning the ball over.
Landon Riggs into the game for Augusta.
So Collegiate catches a break there on the carry by Augusta. A little bit of pressure forcing that.
Still only 20 seconds left. You really got to force something to happen here. Try and move the momentum in Collegiate's favor.
Yeah, and I think you just got to play smart, though. It seems like forcing things is what's causing issues. Ball turned over once again. Blackwell down the other side of the court. Weta flies in there trying to reject it. Foul called on the shot as Blackwell is going to go to the line trying to give Augusta the lead.
Team's third of the quarter.
I think Senora White's down there, Aiden, trying to get the student section into this game a little bit. Seems like the crowd has just completely been taken out of it so far in this second half for the Spartans, as the first free throw is good. All the air have just gone out of the building for the Spartans, and the second half is once again a sizable advantage has crumbled away. Second free throw is good, and for the first time in this entire game, Augusta takes the lead. Ball nearly turned over in the half court. Ball on the floor, Batiste diving for it, and a jump ball is called. Possession arrow favors the Orioles as they'll get the ball back on the other end, and the Spartans have just completely lost it, Aiden.
I don't know what to say other than what is going on with Collegiate right here.
Logan Ruddle back into the game for Augusta.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what more to say. I mean, this is incredible. I mean, they just have just broken down.
Absolutely.
Fiegel imploring his team to switch on defense. Chege gets a block. Rebound secured, though, by Blackwell. Weta didn't want to go for the ball. Wild shot put up by Blackwell. Tried to get it to go at the buzzer. Couldn't get it to go. But the score now 36-35 as Augusta leads this one, as Fiegel is in Batiste's face trying to coach him up, trying to implore him not to try to do it himself, try to secure the ball as turnovers starting to plague the Spartans. Down 1 point going into the fourth quarter, and Aiden, a theme carrying over from last season. When this team gets into close games, they start to struggle a little bit, start to play unlike themselves, and hopefully we're not getting into that sort of situation for the Spartans at this point.
I mean, that's not a theme from just this season. This is a theme from last season. This is a theme from everything I've seen as a commentator so far, is that when this game gets down and dirty, Collegiate loses momentum. They lose power. It's like they give up. That's really why Collegiate is losing right now today. And even without their two best players, energy.
Yeah, you talked about the energy and the effort. Simple as down the other side of the court, it seems like Augusta's diving for balls, getting on the floor, getting aggressive, taking this game by any means necessary, and the Spartans don't look willing to do that right now.
Yeah, that might be contributed to the crowd a little bit. I mean, from this perspective, the entire collegiate school looks dead.
Student section starting to come alive again, trying to get into this game as Grace takes the ball up for the Spartans. Webb dribbles in, decides to pull it back out. Ruddle certainly feeling it for the Orioles. He's played a great second half so far as he guards Weta. Ball swung out to Raspberry at the top of the key. Raspberry picks it up, gives it off to Grace. Grace, free throw line. Can't get it to go, rolls off the rim. Spartans just can't get anything to go. No shots falling right now. Ball taken up the other side of the court, barely out of the press. Haskell able to control it. Kaiser at the top of the key trying to back down Chege. Gets it off to Ruddle. Ruddle dribbles left out to the half-court line. Ruddle backing down Batiste. Picks it up, gives it off to Kaiser, top of the key. Just a little bit off to the left. Ball now out to Blackwell. Certainly he's made an impact in the second half as well. Ruddle now back with the ball, has been the main contributor. Ruddle gives it off to Kaiser. Kaiser down the right side. Backing down Chege on the perimeter, unable to get inside though. Ball handed back out, and a timeout's going to be called
Timeout, Augusta.
by Augusta's coach Ryan Petty. I think only his second timeout that he's called this game, maybe his third. Either way, trying to get his offense going a little bit as they couldn't get the ball inside like they've been able to do most of this game. Unable to get anything open, even from the perimeter.
Yeah, hopefully this is signs that Collegiate has gained just a little bit of power as the student section has started to come back alive a little bit. But, you know, this is something that comes down to Coach Fiegel, what he's going to say to his kids, trying to get them to just show up for the rest of this game, you know. It really seems like all the power has been sapped out of them, not diving for balls like they should be. You know, when it comes down to talent, when it comes down to power, Collegiate is a better team. They just are. They're just a better team. Players, everything about them, they're just better. It's just something lying within their mentality to play, their capability to play in these high-intensity, high-pressure situations. It just kind of falls apart on them. And that just goes to prove that, you know, you can have the power and the talent in the world, but without the mentality to back it up, we're going to get games like this.
Yeah, hey, I mean, it's something I say all the time. You don't put the games on the effort can be a big part of it. And, you know, you don't want to doubt the effort of this collegiate team, but at times it seems like they do play down to their competition, and it's something that's coming back to bite them in the past couple of games. Like you said, Aiden, they've got to show up. They've got to play out every single game.
Absolutely.
Ball back in for Augusta, trying to extend their lead by just a little bit. Kaiser in the low block, met by two defenders. Gets the pass back out. It's Ruddle. Ball back to Haskell at the top of the key. Passed out to Riggs. Swung around to Blackwell. Back out to Riggs at the top of the key. Spartan defense trying to get into this game. Certainly starting to hound the Orioles. Blackwell kicks it around. Finds Haskell. Back to Ruddle. Ruddle, nice his way into the lane. Up, no good. Just strong off the back iron. And Chege just turns it over absent-mindedly. Shot put up, no good. Spartans get away with one there. They're going to have transition look down the other side. Batiste behind the back, not sure what he was trying to do there, and just throws it out of bounds off his back. Looked like it might have been off an Oriole defender. Looked like it bounced off an Oriole defender. We'll see what they do here, and the officials do call it in favor of the Spartans. Either way, though, not a good drive into the lane by Batiste.
Yeah, I mean, Let's just start with that pass by David Chege, absent-mindedly to his teammate, just sniped away. Just, wow.
Spartans fortunate to only be down 1 right now as Weta tries to dribble the baseline pass deflected out of bounds. Blackwell got into the passing lane that time. Yeah, certainly it's only a 1-point game, so time's necessarily against them, but man, they got to get something going at some point here.
Absolutely.
Shackelford looking to get it in, gets it off to Batiste. Left corner 3, gets it to go. A.J. Batiste, a huge basket, trying to jumpstart the Spartan offense. Spartans back out in front by 2, 38-36.
I want to see that being what Collegiate needed.
Back down the other way. Riggs has the ball, hands it up back off to Haskell. Out to Blackwell, back to Haskell. Haskell, top of the dribbling against Shackelford, sizes him up, tries to cross him over, instead gives it back off to Blackwell, swung back around, out in the corner now. It's Riggs, tries to dribble in. Kaiser, mid-range from the paint, gets it to go, back to tied.
Basket by Gavin Kaiser.
Ahmad gets it down the other side of the court quickly. Weta tries to back down his defender on the baseline, can't get it to go. Chege hands it back off to Batiste. Back out to Ahmad as he'll set up the offense. Dribbles into the paint, gets his defender off of him, and gets the shot to go, but can't get it to go off the block.
Collegiate moving
off the back of the
so
iron
sluggishly on that offensive play. Where were the rebounders?
Under 5 minutes now left in this game. Ruddle nearly got to the rim. Big jump by Brett Weta to block it away off the backboard. Ahmad looking for someone, finds Batiste under the basket. Layup is good.
Basket by A.J. Batiste.
Batiste went unaccounted for under the basket, and an easy 2 points for the Spartans.
Brett Weta all the way right there, showing all the power. With
Weta
a
steals it
turnover.
away, throws it off of Kaiser, and it's out of bounds off the Orioles. The Spartans get the ball back once again. They'll have a chance to extend their lead back up to 2 possessions.
Logan Pfeiffer back into the game.
Absolutely. That was a huge block by Brett Weta right there.
Spartans finally got a big defensive play, and that might spark them to life. We'll see here on this possession. Ahmad, high pass up. So Batiste almost got that to go. Instead, it goes back down the other side of the court, stolen away. And a foul called in the half court as Drumright need to be a run out for A.J. Batiste. He might have been able to slam that one home. Either way, it's going to be a foul on Kaiser as he stopped Drumright's progress.
Teams first in the quarter.
Loud complaints by the Augusta.
Stephen Martin into the game for Augusta.
Augusta's coach not happy with the call either way. Spartans have it back down the other side of the court. Ahmad takes up the point. Now 4 minutes left in this game. Spartans lead by only 2. Ahmad dribbles out to the free throw line, hands it off to Batiste. Batiste sizes up his defender, tries to dribble in, passes it off to Drumright. Drumright gives it off to Ahmad. Shackelford from the free throw line decides not to take it, hands it back off to Ahmad, right corner. Swung out to Drumright. Drumright looking for someone, tried to get it to Weta, thrown away. Weta trying to fight for it. And an over and back is going to be called on the Spartans. Turnover going the other way, so Augusta now with a chance to tie this game back up. This one's certainly still within reach for either team. Just a 2-point game, 3:52 left in this one, 40-38 in favor of the Spartans, just hanging on by a thread at this one. Haskell will look to inbound the ball. Drumright in pursuit, couldn't get to it. Instead, Blackwell takes the ball up. Handed off to Pfeiffer, swung around. Now Blackwell on the right side. Gets it off to Haskell. Runner in the lane, gets it to go. Game back to tied.
He's been playing great this second half. Number 2 now picking up 7 of his own points.
Batiste takes the 3, no good from the corner. Missed short. Ahmad with the rebound, tries to get into Chege, tip to Shackelford. Spartans retain possession.
still showing a couple of collegiate players not having quite the energy to match.
Shackelford from the top of the key looking for someone, finally finds Batiste, and Coach Fiegel will call a timeout for the Spartans, looking to regather this Spartan team. And man, it's getting tight. Looks like it's going to come down to the last possession here.
Oh man, I am hurting. I am tense, man. You can hear up here just from the Augusta fans how tense this game is getting. Calls are really making drives. But, you know, we're still, although collegiate seem to have had a couple sparks come up throughout this this fourth quarter here, we are still not seeing the same collegiate team that we saw in the first quarter. I think they have the capability. Will they or won't they?
Yeah, I think that's the question, Aiden, is what kind of team are we going to get? Are we going to get the team that showed up in most of the first half? Run that might have.
Picking up his team. The diversity. And whereas collegiate has centered.
Get it to go, rebound, fought for underneath, bodies on the floor. Chege comes away with it. Drum right now.
Two 30 seconds left in the game. About the clock just a little bit as collegiate just needs to make. Especially in this second half here.
Drumright gets a second free throw to go.
Back into the game for the Spartans.
And Grace will sub out for Chege. So as Weta now at the floor. Right out. Falls to the floor. Nothing called. Ruddle down the court. Lays it up off the glass. He cut in. Got it to go. Augusta. They now lead by. Starting to look frustrated.
I'm not quite so sure starting. I think they've been frustrated and frazzled this entire second half.
Yeah, you can certainly see it on their faces now, though, and just starting that body language, you can see it a little bit more. Certainly not a good sign for the Spartans. Augusta once again able to break the press. Ruddle able to get the pass in, layup, no good. Kaiser comes down with the rebound. Shackelford went up for the block, but a foul is called. Looks like he got a lot of ball on that one, but it's going to be 2 free throws for Kaiser at the line. As Augusta has a chance to put this one up past 2 possessions now.
If they do that, this game might be a little away from collegiate, a little too far to get.
First free throw misses. Pressure on Kaiser now to get the second free throw to go. Difference between a 1 and a 2 possession game here in this free throw. 2 minutes left on the clock, 44-41 the score in favor of Augusta. Second free throw on the way. and gets it to go. So now a 2-possession lead for the Orioles, 45-41. The Spartans now going to have to start to work a little bit faster, but still under control. Batista in the corner, dribbling, trying to size up his defender. Cross-court pass, throws it right to an Oriole once again. This time it's Haskell. Not sure what Batiste was looking to do that time. Didn't want to take the shot, try to Ahmad.
Seeing it from AJ Batiste, who's been managing to pick up 21 of his own points so far in this game, but just a combination of mental errors and just a lack of energy in general from this collegiate team has resulted in in that first quarter.
And now they're in it, now they're ahead, and they can feel it now. They can feel like they've got a really good shot at winning this game, and all they got to do is hold on. That's not the kind of hope you want to give someone on the road, but it's exactly what the Spartans have done. Augusta looking to inbound it. Finds Ruddle in the backcourt. Certainly, Augusta probably going to try to take a little bit of air out of the ball. 1 minute 30 left in this game. Spartans are going to have to press to try to get some kind of a steal. Blackwell had a wide open three if he wanted it. Instead, decides to dribble it out. Off to Ruddle. Ruddle thought about the three, didn't take it. Augusta just trying to move the ball around a little bit, trying to take a little bit of time off the clock. Kaiser now with the ball, hands it off to Ruddle. Top of the key, Ruddle's going to pull it back out. Augusta, like we said, just trying to take a little bit of air out of the ball, trying to drain clock. High pass, nearly out of bounds. Instead, brought down by Blackwell. Kaiser near half court. Ahmad going against a man. A charge called. Charge called on Kaiser. Ahmad was defending him, and Kaiser just kind of threw the shoulder at him. And Kaiser fouls out of the game with his 5th. Big development.
Big development. Hopefully it's not too little too late, but you know, that's a very highly contested call by the fans. But from up here, he threw himself at Ahmad. I mean,
Ahmad, Spartan ball now, minute 2 seconds left in this one. They're going to have to go quick to try to get something here. Batiste takes the ball up the court. Pushes off his defender a little bit. Ahmad now in the key. Out to Raspberry for 3. Can't get it to go. Drumright follows it up on the glass, and Carter Drumright gets it to go. Spartans only trail by 2 now. And a quick timeout called off the make by Coach Fiegel. Sorry, never mind. That's Petty calling his timeout. Final timeout of the game for him, I believe. Certainly looked like Batiste might have pushed off just a little bit on his defender there. Crowd one or not, either way, the Spartans have this trimmed down to 2 points as they try to complete the comeback.
yeah, seconds left. Clock starting to tick. If I was down there in that timeout, there was tell them. I wouldn't be telling them to watch out for a specific play. Not a coach. There's nothing I could tell them other than this game decided collegiate players.
How much do you try to press here and maybe risk getting a foul, even if it does send them to the line, to try to get this ball stolen away?
Absolutely.
Certainly think Collegiate's going to press up, and they will. It's going to be a 5-man press. Andover Augusta trying to get it in. Pressure deep in the backcourt, and a foul is going to be called. Bailed out that time. Haskell was bailed out by the foul call. Collegiate not over the limit, though. So the 10-second clock will reset. Trying to get it out of bounds. And a full timeout's going to be called by Coach Fiegel. I believe his 3rd picking of the game.
Good pressure by Collegiate. Collegiate guys, they're I would not contribute anything at this.
Like the Collegiate, really good job of press that time. Got the double team right against the base. So, you know, the foul call allowed Augusta to get back into the huddle, though. They're going to have a chance to reset and get this ball across half court. 10-second clock is going to reset. They'll have a fresh 10 to get the ball across. You certainly feel like, though, the Spartans are going to wait for those 10 seconds, see if they can get it across half court, and then maybe you try to foul to send them to the line.
Absolutely.
Either way, it's going to be an interesting one as we come to the close of this one. It's been back and forth a little bit in this second half. Collegiate dominated this game in the first, and even into the start of the third quarter had the lead up all the way to 13 points. Saw their lead drastically cut, though. Augusta got this lead up to 4 or 5 points at one point. Now back to a 2-point lead for the Orioles, who find themselves up 45-43 with 43.6 seconds left in this game. Collegiate trying to avoid falling to 3-3 on the year, and what's been a little bit of a mediocre start for the Spartans, looking to kind of keep their heads above water. Augusta trying to get the ball in nearly at the 5-second mark, able to break the press. Ball dribbled high. Batiste almost able to steal the ball away, and instead, reach and foul called on Batiste. Riggs was dribbling that ball dangerously high. It almost got stolen away from behind. Instead, it's a foul call, reach in on Batiste.
Yeah, looked a little too confident there, dribbling a little too high. Batiste was going to capitalize. Looked like a great move from Batiste, just a little too aggressive with it.
Collegiate has one more foul to give here. We'll see how much they press before trying to foul. Shackelford trying to reach in. Weta tips it out. Almost got another steal. 35.3 seconds now left. Spartans trying everything they can to come away with this ball and try to tie up the game on the other end.
Man, I have not been this tense since the Wellington game.
Ball on the floor. Weta almost came up with it, couldn't quite do it. Ball out in the corner. Augusta going to try to take time out of the clock. Spartans might have to foul now. Shackelford tried to. Ball got away, though, instead. Collegiate still not fouling. 18 seconds left in the game, and Weta tried to sell a foul call. Instead, he's going to be called for the reach-in. So Augusta will go to the line, and it looks like it'll be number 2, Brody Haskell. So Haskell's got to make 2 of these to send it out of... Haskell needs to make 2 of these to try to send it out of reach for the Spartans. Otherwise, it's going to be a 1-possession game, either a 2 or 3 point lead. Haskell goes to the line. First free throw, straight through.
If he makes his second one, I think this game might just be as good as lost for Collegiate here.
And not necessarily, and still 17 seconds left in this game, but it certainly makes their job harder. Collegiate's going to be hoping that this lead stays at 3 instead of going up to 4. 46-43 the score. One more free throw on the way from Haskell. Second free throw up and straight through. Haskell gets the foul to go. Fiegel is incensed at the referee. He calls a timeout. Fiegel was trying to call a timeout, I think, in between the free throws. And Fiegel is absolutely livid at the official.
I would be too. I mean, you could see it from up here that he was calling that timeout. I mean, I don't have anything to say in this timeout, if I'm being completely honest. It all comes down to what's going to happen in these next 17 seconds.
The question is, Aiden, do you go for a 3 or do you try to get a quick hitter into the lane?
That's a good point. Do they have anybody who's reliable enough to make that 3 additionally?
I mean, the guy's probably got to be A.J. Batiste. I'm not sure. He hasn't been entirely reliable from behind the arc tonight, but he's got to be your go-to guy. He's been your best offensive player all season. You got to go to him if you can. The question is, though, do you let him cut in, try to go for 2, quick hitter, and try to get the ball back down the other side of the court, try to get a steal, or do you go for the 3 to try to guarantee this as a 1-possession game?
That's a good question. With how difficult the steal has been right here, I think Collegiate might be taking a gamble either way. No matter what, Collegiate in a definite disadvantage situation right here.
Making it tougher for the Spartans. Weta's going to have to inbound under his own basket, going to have to move the ball all 94 feet down the court. And it looks like Augusta's going to press up a little bit, trying to limit the Spartans, try to take time off the clock. 15 seconds now left in the game. Retta dribbles quickly, and a foul committed right in the front court that time on number 20, Caleb Martin,
his third personal, team's fourth.
trying to stop Wetta's progress from the basket. Not the worst strategy by Augusta. They have one more foul to give.
Honestly, that's what I'd be doing if I was Augusta right now. Trying to impede progress. That was a solid 4 seconds wasted.
Side out for Collegiate now. Ahmad looking to get it in. Tries to go to Batiste. Batiste lays it up too high off the glass. Batiste trying to fight for it underneath. And a foul is called before a jump ball, as it looks like Augusta might have this one sealed away on the rebound.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything Collegiate can do at this point, really. Only 9.2 seconds left. If he manages to make both of these, then this game is definitely as good as gone, putting it into pretty much a 3-possession game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it matters that much. It's a 2-possession game either way, as he misses the first one off the mark from Pfeiffer. Either way, it's a 2-possession game for the Spartans. They're going to have to go really quick to try to get something in, some kind of miracle after they can maybe make 2 points on the other side of the court.
Especially with how they've been playing this entire second half.
Pfeiffer's second free throw rattles in. Now a 5-point advantage for the Orioles. Spartans are going to have to move rapid here to try to get anything going. Shackelford catches it at half court, tries to move the ball up quickly, trying to go for the layup, gets the quick hitter to go. 5 seconds now left in the game, as the clock was allowed to continue to run. I'm not entirely sure why the clock continued to run. Either way, that's going to draw a close to this one, as Collegiate ends up losing it 48-45 after a dismal second half effort. The clock never stopped running there. There's 5 seconds left on it after the basket made, but they kept the clock running. Spartans going to lose this one going away 48-45 at the hands of Augusta, and not much more to say other than just a bad second half for the Spartans.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, now they go 3-3. Definitely not as good as they were last year. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to say other than just an abysmal second half. Collegiate was looking great, especially in that first quarter. This looks like it could have been a blowout almost. They just managed to turn it in to just a frustrating loss.
Anyone that you want to shout out, any kind of player of the game on either side, Aiden?
You know, for Collegiate, obviously, you know, AJ Batiste pulling up 21 of his own points. Absolutely insane. Close second with, well, actually not very close second, but James Shackelford also having one of his better games with a solid 10 points. But looking at the other team, number 4, oh my God, he basically carried the second and third quarter in his own hands. Dragged Augusta along and brought them back from the trenches, scoring 15 of his own points, only managing to get 2 turnovers. But yeah, I think the biggest thing to look at right now is the crazy turnover change. It went from, 14 turnovers from Augusta to them only gaining about 5-ish turnovers in the second half, compared to Collegiate nearly tripling the amount of turnovers they had in the first half. I mean, the numbers don't lie, people. It's absolutely insane to look at the drastic change we saw.
Yeah, I think my player of the game by all means has to be Logan Ruddle. I mean, like you said, he brought the whole team along with him, just almost single-handedly led a massive comeback for the Augusta Orioles. The Spartans looked like they were going to run away with this one early. Lead got cut down a little bit before halftime, out to 9. Then the Spartans went on a 4-0 run to extend the lead to 13, and from there, it was all downhill for the Spartans.
Absolutely.
Well, that'll about wrap up our coverage here from Collegiate, as both the boys and the girls drop games to the Augusta Orioles. So we thank you for listening tonight, and we hope you'll be with us for the next game. Until then, for Aiden Myers, I'm Connor Schubach. Good night.